Are you recording already?
Yeah.
You are? Okay. I thought so.
I was like,
just
I
now
don't think
telling
I can
us.
use any of this, but I love that I have it.
Limited.
This just did. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Mr. Obama.
Mr. Obama.
President Obama.
Is now the mayor of Mobile, Alabama.
I just had a thought. I probably shouldn't say it out loud, but now
Say
I
it.
want to.
Yeah, say
I
it.
just saw this meme or this reel on Instagram.
I'm already laughing. I'm already
You're like,
laughing.
nice.
Because Paul's bright red, so he's
I'm just thinking about this.
Yes.
He's like, shit.
Yeah. So this guy was asking these different military soldiers like at the camp, and he's like, "Oh, would you kiss your cousin for $25,000?"
I think I've seen this.
You've seen it. And the
Yeah.
first guy's like, "Yeah, $25K, I'd do that." The next guy's like, "I'll do it for free."
Yeah, I did see that.
And then it
Yeah.
kind of just keeps going. And then the last guy he asks, he's like, "Would you do it for $25K?" He's like, "$25K to kiss my ex?"
Yes, I did.
oh my
Oh, my wife's
goodness.
calling now.
That's bad. You should answer
I
that.
should answer that, huh? Hey, babe, I got you on speaker.
Hey, do you have the key fob?
I do have the key fob.
Ooh.
You guys have the same shoes on.
Yeah.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, dude.
That's kind of cool. I wish I had a pair.
You don't?
I feel like I'm left out. No.
First pair of Chucks I've ever bought.
Really? I used to wear them exclusively when I was younger.
I could see that. I didn't get them until I was older.
I love how I'm describing these things like it's a novel thought. Like, yeah, no one would guess this about me. Steven's like, yeah, that makes sense.
I like how he quickly moved past it.
Yeah.
Like, I could see that. So yeah.
So anyway, he's
Well-
actually the first one to call me a little emo boy. But I was thinking about it all week, and I was like, you know what? It actually kind of makes sense.
I don't know if that's a bad thing though, or a good thing.
I mean, in
don't
my
know. Yeah.
in my mind, emo music is Central Florida and Ohio.
Yeah.
And so because of that, because I grew up in Central Florida, I feel like real emo music is Ohio.
Heck yeah.
But only
like,
because
"Yeah,
it's
yeah."
only because it's like more dreary there.
Yeah, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
It's just gray.
But
Like, you
Yeah.
can't tell the ground from the sky.
I would say
That's a
Central
song.
Florida.
Oh,
That's
that is
such a song
actually, that's a
title.
good.
See?
Or
That's
lyric. even.
That's good.
It's because I feel like go put the key fob. In
Oh
the-
yeah.
There's like that
Did you
mailbox
text her
right
the
around
address? Okay.
Steven's the real bad around here.
No,
There's like this black mailbox right here, right against the house. You could put it right there if you want.
I feel like there's like two genres really, because it's like the emo music, and then there's hardcore.
Yeah, and hardcore is huge in Northeast.
It
Ohio.
is, but I feel like Ohio's more central to emo, and Central
Yeah.
Florida is more peak at hardcore,
Interesting.
because like Solid State Records,
Oh, that's fair.
that's a Florida label.
Yeah, I guess I forgot about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting because then, like Sufjan, he's from Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of like bridged into the rest of the Midwest.
Right.
But then at the same time, that's when like Death Cab was really big
Right.
and kind of made like, this weird fusion of things.
Sufjan was after though, right?
He was after.
Okay, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
so Death Cab was already big,
Right.
and then Sufjan kind of came in and influenced what we already had. It's kind of interesting, but then it's like indie kind of became like birthed out of emo.
What about Midwestern
everything.
emo?
So that's a thing.
Yeah, that's,
Midwest emo is a subgenre.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. But just like
the kind of pain only a Midwesterner would understand.
Yeah, right. It's
yeah.
like- yeah.
What
What's
is
the
the-
difference between Ohio pain and Midwestern emo pain?
Well, it's not
You know.
it's not much different than comparing like West Coast East Coast rap.
Mm.
Mm.
It's like they each have a unique sound. Like you can kind of tell if it's from Ohio versus
That
it being
makes
from
sense.
Central Florida. Cuz in Central Florida I feel like you have a little bit more hope
Mm.
in the hook.
There's no hope.
And then I feel like in Midwest emo, you have less hope in the hook. Like not then
Interesting.
Central Florida, but
Yeah.
actually just in general, it's like the hook is usually the darkest part of the song.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Actually, that's
Slit my wrist and black my eyes. My heart is in Ohio. I don't remember the melody.
yeah.
But I remember the guy talking about that was like, they literally wrote that song as a caricature of everything that the emo scene was.
No way.
Yeah, so like the intention of that song was actually not.
Just a joke.
It was a joke.
It's
Yeah.
like a theme song to.
Yeah, because it was late in their record too.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, but that was their biggest song
That's so
because
funny.
I think it correctly identified the dark parts.
Mm.
But they were doing it as a joke that every emo person is like that.
Which is, I mean, it's kind of meta. So, and
It is.
we like meta.
Yeah. Meta, if you're watching right now,
Sponsor us.
we agree with you.
We agree with you.
Don't hurt us, Meta.
Don't please.
So what would Simple Plan, emo, pop punk.
The way you pronounced that confused me. It sounded like you were
Oh, like I was
presenting something.
presenting.
Yeah, it sounded like you had
I
an
did. It
idea.
was
Like,
Simple plan.
So, real simple plan.
So topic A.
Get that mic right up on you too.
Right
I want
like
to hear that sultry voice.
The throat noises that come
Or
in.
yes, or I'll be forced to turn you up, and I will do that.
and I will do that.
Don't tempt me.
Simple plan.
You remember that song Perfect?
Because I'd put them in more pop punk. I think.
Yeah, that's kind of what I labeled them.
Yeah, but like their ballad stuff was more emo.
They dabbled.
Sure.
They did
Yeah,
dabble,
their
yeah.
roots were in emo.
Yeah.
But like I feel like a true like maybe let me put it this way too. I think the overarching the Florida emo was worse vocalists.
Mm.
So I think the people from like Midwest emo I think had better vocalists.
Yeah.
There was something about Florida emo that was like intentionally not good vocals.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe that's not true across the board, but I feel like more of the like power pop stuff
Yeah.
emerged first in like Midwest.
Midwest. Yeah.
Like the melodic voices?
Yeah.
Really?
And then it was a really
That's interesting.
big marker of Central Florida in like the mid 2000s.
So what do you think came first?
The chicken.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The music or the pain.
The pavement.
The pavement.
The pavement came first.
All the bullies at school.
Yeah. But technically everything kind of comes out of California
Yeah.
and then up into Seattle.
What do
Yeah.
they call that? Sin City? Is that
Well,
LA?
that's where grunge was.
No, that's Las
it's
Vegas.
like Washington.
Las Vegas is Sin City.
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the most dreary.
You think
Yeah.
it's a
'Cause it
weather
just
thing?
rains constantly.
Yeah.
I think weather plays a huge role on how depressing our music is.
I feel like it should.
I mean, think like Southern California. That's most of pop music.
How about now? What kind of music do you think will come out of there now with the wildfires?
Ooh,
That's a good
There'd
question.
be some
hellish.
It's
Do you
just
think it would
death
be-
metal.
Yeah, I was like, would it be more emo? Or
I mean, or Billie
more-
Eilish. I mean, that kind of fits
Actually-
pretty well.
Yeah, that's some sulfur going on right there.
There's some sulfur in her
Yeah,
lyrics.
she
Sulfur.
she inhaled some smoke. before-
Doesn't she have
Yeah.
a song called Sulfur? Or am I thinking of
Probably.
someone else?
I think that's somebody else,
It might be.
but I think yeah,
I'm sure there is a song out there.
there's definitely
Yeah.
like Audio Slave or something.
Yeah, Muse.
Oh, Muse.
Imagine being the only guy at a Muse concert.
Oh man, that's good.
I just
Oh.
remember that where my one friend found he was always late.
my one friend.
I had more than one, but one of them.
I don't call him by his name. He's just my one friend.
Yeah, for those that are familiar with the geography of Ohio, he lived in Ashtabula, which we like to call Trashtabula.
I feel like you made that up on spot.
That sounds like the street.
Yeah, it sounds made up,
That
right?
sounds like
Sounds
the
like a-
street name one street over.
Well, to be more accurate, he lived in Kingsville. which was in Ashtabula County.
Oh, so it's a county name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds more like a county name, I feel like.
Yeah. Also, I feel like
interesting.
I've never done that before. I've never been like, oh, he lives in.
By county.
Yeah.
By county.
I can't even think of other.
Dude, my one
county
friend,
names.
he lives in Polk.
Yeah.
And,
He lives in Full.
Yeah, I would never say that.
Well,
That must be a Midwest thing.
It's kind of a weird thing where, like, in Lakeland, like, you can never leave Lakeland.
no,
Because it's pretty big, but there's also, like, everything you need's kind of here.
Yeah.
But for us, it's like, oh, there are areas where it's like, no, this is only residential, and there's, like, maybe one gas station.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
So, like, if you're going on a grocery run, you could hit, like, 3 or 4 little, like, town cities within an hour.
Yeah.
It's more rural.
Yeah. So you're going to, like, a
Why
bunch
did we
of
make
different
that word
places.
so hard to say?
I don't know. It's kind of mean,
The way
actually.
you said it was a struggle.
Is-
Rural.
Rural. Rural.
Because it sounds like you're messing it up when you're saying it,
does.
right.
But
Yeah.
also, like one of the
Rural?
biggest speech impediments for a kid is
Oh, that's true.
W's and R's.
Yeah.
R's to W's. So it'd be
would-
whoa whoa.
Whoa.
Which is actually the name of my new album coming out.
But it's intentionally spelled that way. W-U-W.
With the R's in parentheses.
Yeah. That would be so hard to look at.
It would
Just
be.
the name of
Actually,
that.
I kind of want to write
Whoa,
a song
whoa.
that way now.
Whoa whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
That could be your like refrain hook. Whoa whoa.
Whoa,
Whoa
whoa.
whoa. Whoa 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 whoa.
I don't
It's
hate
not a bad
it.
idea.
I don't hate it.
We can write songs.
that?
But yeah, so he lived out in Ashtabula. So he was like an hour away.
What's
if you're
the actual
speeding.
city name?
Well, he lived in
Kingsville.
Kingsville.
That sounds way more like a place.
Yeah, Ashtabula sounds like a pet from Star Wars.
Which it's kind of also in Ashtabula. It's a very spread out area.
See, that sounds like something you get in and take your family on a road trip.
We're going to Ashtabula.
Ashtabula
No, we're
sounds
going in the Ashtabula.
Oh, in the Ashtabula.
Yeah.
to Kings
Load up the Ashtabula.
does,
We're,
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
going for a drive.
to where is it? Kingsville.
Kingsville, yeah.
Yeah, we're taking
Well,
the
so-
Ashtabula. I can't even say the word.
Ashtabula.
Ashtabula.
Sounds like a space drug. Like a drug from space.
yeah.
Ashtabula.
But it was like an up and coming
Space
area.
drugs. That's a good
And
band
then
name.
That is a
Space
good
Drugs
name.
is pretty good. I
Drugs
can
is
already
really
see the
That'd be a
artwork
good
for that.
That'd be a good album name.
Yeah, dude.
That's actually
punk.
Space
I
Drugs.
really
That's punk
like
rock.
that
I love
actually.
it.
I'm surprised.
I'm
it's
writing
not-
all these down.
It should be an EDM album.
Did you guys sign the waiver, by the way, that I can
yeah.
steal all ideas that emerged?
Just-
I gave my blood on the way in.
Perfect. Well, so it was an up and coming place, but then they decided it was a good idea to put an adult supermarket in there.
Well, I took that a way different way. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also paused.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. Well, because I was like, I can't remember the word actually.
It's weird that we never say down and going.
down. Yeah, that's true.
If it's up and coming.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's down and going.
I think they just call those Ohio.
Sure.
Oof.
Oof.
Ohio is the down and going state.
It's
Down
actually
and
up and
going.
coming now.
I
But
guess you
down
flip
and
it.
going kind of still seems positive.
Yeah, it does. It's down and it's going.
They're going
It's
down.
like-
yeah.
They're
like
down and they're going.
You have a brand new
Yeah.
business that's up and coming, and then you have like a place like Best Buy or something that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
And they're down and going. They're
But-
just steady.
But to be honest, we actually do say it. We just flip the order. So it's
Going
either
down,
up and
going down.
coming or it's going down.
Yeah, that's true.
So technically, we do say that.
Because I think down and going
Yeah.
is positive. So
Paul and
But
I
down
like.
and going still feels more positive than it's going down.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that's why
we
they
flipped it. Yeah.
Put some
Like, no, we
Midwest in
don't
it.
mean good things.
The guy who created it's from Ohio. He's like, I don't like this.
Yeah,
It's
This,
going down.
it's going down.
It's going down.
It's going down.
We're going down.
For real.
Going down in an earlier round. Back to Midwest emo.
Yeah, it always comes back.
It always
Sugar,
comes
we're- is that
Going
Midwest? Is it Good Charlotte?
That's
I actually
Ooh.
don't know if that
It's
is.
tough to get that song wrong.
That's Fallout.
It is Fall Out
Yeah,
Boy.
that is.
That's definitely Ohio, right?
They're Ohio?
They've
didn't-
got to be Midwest.
They're probably Midwest. I don't know if they were Ohio.
Wait, is Ohio Midwest?
Yes,
It's like
Is it?
fringe Midwest.
it's
okay,
fringe.
I was like, I thought it was pretty north of it.
It's
We're,
the most-
we're the border.
It's the most emo of the
So
Midwest.
it's like it's like
There's a
Everybody
fringe.
hates us within.
So then there's a new
Even
subgenre.
inside the Midwest,
There's
people
what?
don't
We
like
just
us.
created a new subgenre, Central America emo. So
oh,
Central emo.
Central emo.
Yeah.
I think Central America's already a thing, but it's south.
It's below the border.
Yeah, it's not ours.
It's going down. It's going
down
down.
in an earlier round.
I can't remember why I was talking about. Oh, so my friend lived out there.
Yeah.
So things took a while to
minutes-
get to
10
him.
minutes
10 minutes
later.
later. This is how my
100
brain works too.
years later.
And so he started to learn about who Muse was and loved the band.
Wait, say it again.
I messed that up bad.
I thought he said humans. Like he started.
He started to learn what humans
He
were.
started to learn what humans were.
No, he heard the band
He's on those
Muse for the
space
first
drugs.
He
time.
lived in a very whoa area.
Whoa.
Yeah, he overdosed on space drugs. And now he's very woo.
Now he's whoa. Had to relearn that
You
one.
find him in King's Village.
Well, he was
Just
showing me
sleeping in his-
Muse like it's the first time I've ever heard of it before.
In his astrobula. You'll find him sleeping in his astrobula in the whoa area. of
Getting
Getting
King's
high on
Village.
space drugs.
In the back of the astrobula.
Oh my gosh.
I think we've already written the song.
Yeah, for real. This is a total
Going down.
song.
Yeah.
We're just disregarding his whole story.
I actually don't even remember why I'm talking about this.
Your one friend.
Your
Yeah,
one
so I'm
friend
going to
at the
skip
Muse
it now.
He's like, that's a
No, it was because you made a Muse joke.
Yeah, you said, imagine being the one guy at a music
Man,
concert.
you guys are better at this than I am. Yeah,
Which,
that's
to
right.
be honest, I don't really understand the joke.
Oh,
He
well,
hasn't got to it yet. I don't think.
do you get the joke?
Nope.
Wow. Okay, so Muse did
You
the,
just said it
they-
like a punchline.
Oh, I just thought everyone knew. That's why I was like, okay, so
Muse is guys only.
Muse was in Twilight, the movies,
Okay.
and so every
You mean the songs?
the songs,
Gotcha,
their
okay.
songs,
Yeah.
yeah, not the
The band.
bandmates.
But see, I saw Muse before Twilight came out.
yeah, so then it was okay to like them.
Yeah.
But then every middle school girl was like, oh, their music was in Twilight, so I love them now. So
Gotcha.
every concert was filled with just middle school girls.
Got it. Because in my mind, Muse was this really cool band
Yeah,
that existed 20 years ago.
yeah, that's about right.
Is it
Yeah.
bad that I don't think I've ever listened to Muse. Ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like,
Sounds like it's a
Ever
good thing
since
now.
Twilight.
Yeah. It sounds like it's a good thing now. but
actually, I
there was
kind
a
of want to
time.
look up, like, what is a, like, because I couldn't name a song, but there was also a band called Melee that used to, that opened for a Copeland tour, early Copeland tour.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Here's the problem. Here's the problem, though. If I look up Muse, their most popular albums are going to be Twilight songs.
It's so
naturally.
true.
So I need to go back to like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because their first album was '98.
Dang,
So
are they
I
that
think
old?
Black Holes
they've
and
been around for a while.
Revelations.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Black Holes and Revelations is probably that was 2006. I would have been like junior in high school. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's still their most popular song. I mean, 2006.
I feel like this is like teleportation.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that
like
crazy?
pre-EDM.
Like he's playing it in the mic, but I'm hearing it here. It's so strange.
Only in your left ear?
Yeah. Well,
I won't
didn't
play
put anyone in.
anymore. I won't play anymore.
Otherwise, we're gonna get struck by
I
the
don't want you to get
copyright.
demonetized.
Thanks.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't either.
But that was like, I mean, that was like pushing EDM with guitars and synths.
Yeah,
So yeah, and they're British too, right?
I think so.
So
yeah.
your friend was at a Muse concert.
No, he was just showing me the videos because he's like their videos on YouTube,
Okay.
and he's like, "Yeah, check out this new band I found." I'm like, "Well, they've been around for a while," and then we're looking through their live shows, and it's like, do you notice the age of all these girls? Like that's you like their
There was a
music.
shift.
Oh,
Yeah.
they
there was
have
a
to
shift.
hate that. There's no way they're happy about that.
No, I mean I'm sure they made some money from it.
They
but
probably made a
a
lot
lot of
money.
merch sales.
Well, and think about like,
Guys don't buy merch like that.
well, that's the whole thing with
They buy it
unless
on a
they're-
different level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like the
Like the CDs or vinyls.
like think about Taylor Swift's whole market. It's
Yeah.
all teenage girls.
Yeah.
So if you can still be like an interesting rock
It's
band,
just dad's desperate for their attention.
yeah.
She a witch, you think?
What's that?
She's a witch, huh?
Ooh, that's a good topic.
That's a good question.
Taylor
And
Swift?
actually, before we
arguably.
get into that,
I'm thirsty, Paul.
hey guys, welcome to Tipsy Theology.
Hey,
We
welcome.
finally made it. We're known for long cold opens around here.
Oh, cool.
roll the intro.
Oh, there's my wife.
She got back quick.
She did. Was that 20 minutes? She said she was 20 minutes away.
No.
Speeding woman.
She's like, I need that fob now.
Well, I'm surprised the car didn't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think because don't you go out of range and it's just like
Normally it's like beeping at you.
yeah.
Maybe she just ignored it.
What
Is
if
it
it
like a
went
mile
out of range,
range?
and just the key fob exploded in your pocket or something?
Because she was shaking it.
No.
Yeah. Huh.
Speaking of
It's like
shaking
a
it,
voodoo doll.
would you do the honors?
Oh, dude.
I want you to.
have a
I want
little
you to
bit of
give it a
trauma
little
from this.
slap too.
A key fob is kind of like a voodoo doll.
I for real.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
If
has
it happens
spiritual
twice,
substance.
I will be amazed.
I don't want to smack it. I have some trauma. I for real smacked one and it exploded in my hand, dude.
I love it.
It was crazy.
That's very weird.
I love you.
So cute.
On the
That's a
front like
healthy
that?
smack.
it right there. Just like
Wow.
I went like that. And it went boom.
I love you.
Oh,
you
it came
unscrew
out
the
the
top and
top?
just shoots out.
You what?
It came out the top?
No, like it broke this in half.
Oh, okay.
The plastic broke. Oh yeah. Yeah. So the plastic broke.
I bet it was on the shelf for years
That's what I
before you
figured,
picked
too.
it up.
Yeah. There's still stains on my office wall from it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It looks like I
That's
tried
so
to paint
weird.
it and quit halfway through.
So Paul is now pouring the drink.
Oh, that's a good pour.
That looks like dirty water. It is a little gritty.
Tell the people what you're drinking.
Okay, we are drinking Arnold Palmer, made by Arizona Tea Company.
Arnie Palm.
Half and half iced
Arnie
tea
Palm.
lemonade, the light version.
Actually, the last one of the episodes that I watched, you were drinking Arnie Palms.
That's his
And
thing.
there
yeah.
was a discussion of a pink lemonade version.
Yeah, it's not like was it like Kevin Palmer or something?
Oh, that's right.
I was
not
gonna bring
Kevin
that up.
Palmer. Kevin Palmer is somebody.
Is it?
I think he's a football player.
Oh, that's
Kevin
cool.
Palmer?
Yeah.
Who's the other dude? He has like the pink lemonade. version.
Ryan Palmer.
Riot,
Palmer.
Riot dog.
Ryan. His name would be Ryan.
Every
He's
time I
like,
hear Ryan, I think
do
of
the same
Stewie.
thing, but change the color.
The same thing.
You can copy my homework, but don't.
Yeah.
I might have made the same joke then too.
But
You
the weird
did.
thing is Ryan.
You did. I want to go back and watch
Yeah,
that now.
classic's a classic.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Hey,
Also,
there was
you
no
poured those
audience
almost
response.
dead evenly.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
good job.
So this is a fun fact about Paul that I don't tell a lot of people. I used to be a bartender
Okay.
for during COVID.
Really?
So my hours got cut.
So like when no one was there, you were a bartender?
The regulars are irregular.
They were virtually there. You just set up a bunch of iPhones.
Well, no, that's when I don't know. Did you guys do to go here? People
never
would
been to
do
this
You mean
house
like
before.
in Lakeland?
yeah. So people would do like to go drinks.
I've never been to this house before.
That's my first time.
I don't
here.
know if they do to go here.
Well, so like obviously you don't do that, but during COVID they were allowing you could take a drink, like an alcoholic drink, to go.
Really?
Oh, you can go pick it up at a bar.
Yeah.
There's also another version of that
That's so
that you just
expensive.
walk out the door with it.
Wait, say it again.
Like to go, you just walk out the door. That's what we used
Are
to
you
do.
talking about dining and dashing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you pay,
Yeah.
but like not
You
essentially.
pay and then you leave with
you
it.
pay and then just leave with the drink.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
They do that in North Carolina. Some places you can walk around in North Carolina like that.
Louisiana is like that.
Oh,
I
that's
think
cool.
Gatlinburg is like that. Tennessee.
New
Oh.
Orleans is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
New
that makes
Orleans
sense.
is.
Well, no, you have to say county names for him.
I don't know what it is if you don't.
Monroe County.
Hardy.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Cherokee County, North
Cherokee.
Carolina.
The only one I know is Monroe County in Louisiana, just because of Duck Dynasty.
Oh,
Oh,
that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
So probably not by New Orleans.
Dude, so speaking
I
of
don't
Duck
know.
Dynasty, there
Is
was
it
a
New
time.
Orleans or New Orleans?
Depends on who you ask.
Oh yeah,
That's fair.
But you did ask us, so New
Yeah.
Orleans.
New Orleans. Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
What
New
about Duck
Orleans.
Dynasty?
What were you gonna say? Yeah.
I don't remember now.
I'm so sorry.
You
Oh,
said
there was a time where I was either actually talking to Sadie. By talking, I mean just conversation to Sadie Robinson,
Okay.
or I was being
Whoa.
catfished by somebody.
Huh. Her last name is Robertson.
Robertson.
Yeah.
Do you think did they ask?
That
did,
was
they,
the wrong person.
did they ask you?
You
for
were talking.
money?
You were talking
Did they
to
ask you
Sadie
for money?
Robinson.
Did they
You were
ask me
like-
for what?
Did you ask you for money?
No, she asked for my number. which was even weirder. Yeah. And then I had a girlfriend.
It's just
Not
some,
weirder.
It's just some random lady on Facebook. She's like, I don't know why the guy keeps
Sadie
talking about
Robinson.
ducks so much.
But she had like back in the day, she had like 3. I don't know if she still does. She had like 3 Instagram profiles,
That makes sense.
and they were all blue check marked, which was an actual achievement back in the day.
Yeah.
You didn't
It
have
was.
to
Now
pay
you have
for
to
it.
pay to play.
Yeah, now it's just everybody has it. And
I think you still did back then. It just cost more,
oh, really?
and less people could do it.
like officiated. Officiated, is that the word?
Yeah.
So she had 3.
No, it's not.
She had,
It's not.
Now I'm trying to
Verified?
think of the word. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Keep going.
she had
Same category.
yeah, same category. She had 3 Instagram profiles, and she followed me on all 3 of them, which was the first okay, this may be Sadie
Interesting.
Robertson, right?
Yeah.
And then Robertson, and then she started messaging. Actually, have some of the messages I think still.
You should definitely delete those.
For real. Yeah, for real. She messaged me about some stuff, and it was
Or start a
she was-
YouTube page just on that alone.
theory behind that.
Just the screenshots and then.
Yeah, you're just talking for like a minute and a half every video about this experience.
about this experience.
That would blow up on
Just like a
TikTok.
part-
It would
part
absolutely blow
only.
up. Yeah, it would
Part
absolutely blow
series.
up.
I never thought of that. Also, you can't download TikTok anymore.
No, but if you have it, you can still use it.
Yeah, it's your grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Oh, I deleted it.
I've never had it.
That's
I had
good.
it for a
That's good.
while, but it was just. It was brain rot for me.
It was
so
just
I didn't-
Bitcoin. That's
yeah,
what I thought.
it
you
was
were
just
gonna say.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, I had
All
TikTok.
these Bitcoin guys. I was like, I can only lose so much money, fellas.
Yeah. My TikTok was just how I got Bitcoin. It was my wallet.
No, I only posted one TikTok video, and it was me sneaking a baguette through TSA.
Oh, I love that though.
That's a good video.
Yeah,
It was
what a-
actually pretty good.
what
Yeah.
a video to post.
Yeah.
Wait, so you were talking to her on all 3 accounts?
No, well, 2 of them
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
Oh wow. Different
So-
Switch
conversations.
between?
Yeah. So
Each one's a separate.
it's just a separate person. So it just kind of randomly started out in small talk conversations, and then because I didn't believe it was her, and I still don't really because I never had a confirmation.
Who
of
sent
her,
the first DM?
She did.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and in conversation back and forth, I'm just gonna speed it up. It started off like what I thought was friendly,
Yeah.
and at the time, and I was just young and dumb, so she asked me for my phone number, and I was like, yeah, sure. And I was dating a girl,
Yeah.
so she asked me one day in conversation, hey, you should FaceTime me one day, and I was like,
Oh, and this now is not on the DMs.
this
is
not-
through
this
text.
is now
This is
through
through
text,
text.
correct? Yeah.
Whoa.
And I was like, nah, like that feels kind of weird. And then like you kind of have that epiphany moment or whatever word you want to put there that you realize, oh, this is kind of intentional.
This is a real person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that and like the intentionality.
There is that.
They
there is
actually
that
want to talk to
level.
me.
Yeah.
There was an intentionality behind it of like, for me, it was just like casual conversation. But when somebody wants to FaceTime you that you don't necessarily know, I guess there's like an intimacy intention behind it.
There is. It's like you're hanging out.
When people try to move
So, yeah.
from like Insta to text, that's when I'm like, okay,
To
what's
phone
happening? What are you
calls.
doing?
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Like,
yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, because text is like, get to this when you can.
Yeah.
FaceTime is like, stop what you're doing and hang out with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be part of your day
And-
right now.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
dating a girl at the time. Shout out to my and she
What?
Why would you shout that out?
Don't shout her out.
just joking.
No, we're bleeping that.
And she
Her name was. Okay, continue.
That'll be
There should have been a song right there. She
Her name was. Her name was. Shout out Midwest.
Yeah, could be anybody.
Detroit.
we'll never know. We'll never know. She has to FaceTime, and then I was like, okay. I felt the conviction of like, hey, I should probably point out I have a girlfriend, but at this point,
Yeah.
and she just like flipped switch, and she was like, oh my gosh, you led me on, you did all this stuff, you're such a jerk, and I was like, I didn't, I didn't lead you on. But
What a tease.
we kind of quit talking after that. Yeah, like, which I felt like was the best route to take anyways, because if you had intentionality behind it, and I was like, I got a girlfriend, I'm going to respect my relationship.
Yeah, you were just like, oh, this is a
Like, I don't mind
kind
being
of
friends.
famous person. Like, it's cool that like we're talking to each other. This is
Yeah.
kind of a cool
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
But then the more I thought about it, I was like, man, that could have been like some 50-year-old dude. in Ohio.
He's like, you led me on, bro.
Right, and Kingsville, Ohio, that is just like
In the back of his what?
yeah, sitting alone on a laptop at a Muse concert.
Sitting in the back of his Ashtabula.
Yeah, sitting in a Astor
His
Villa, dude,
four-seater.
just toked out.
He
on
was
space
live
drugs.
streaming a Muse concert.
He
That's
was,
hilarious.
yeah. Just
Back before live stream. What
to-
was it? Oh,
toked out on space
Skype.
drugs, just texting random guys.
he was on Skype.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So that was that, and then
That
we
opened up
never
a new part of my life. I didn't.
we never talked
The
again
little
after
blue
that.
bubble.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Oh my
I wish I
gosh.
forgot about that completely.
I still to this day don't know how to use Skype.
Really?
Yeah, no idea.
I don't think it works anymore.
Really?
I think it's gone, isn't it?
There's like a
Zoom.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Zoom's the new Skype.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from? Like, why didn't Skype just be the thing?
Zoomed
Also,
on.
what does Skype mean?
Oh,
Why did
you
they
know
use
what?
the word
I just
Skype?
learned something new for you, Steven.
Okay.
But before I do this,
Yes.
I think it's important right now
Okay.
to say, for those that don't know, because we know, this heartthrob over here, breaking the heart of Sadie Roberts.
Or Robinson.
Or
depending on
Or
who you talk to.
Robinson.
Yeah, one's much older than the other.
Well, she's like married now, right? With kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So years ago, she was dating this dude, and she was telling me in.
So she was dating
Wait, she was
someone.
dating somebody?
Yeah. Well, so
Who was leading who on?
Right. So in the media, she was dating somebody, and I even said that to her. I was like, don't you have a boyfriend? And she was like, well, we broke up a long time ago. The media just wants us to still look like we're together because it looks better for
Oh, definitely an old dude in
Interesting.
Ohio.
right. And
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is pretty sketch, man. This guy's like,
Sounds like, actually, that reminds me of a time I was pretending to be Sadie Roberts.
Turns out Paul's who you were texting. That would be a wild
dude,
twist.
we've been linked for years.
Sitting in the back of my
Wild.
parents' Ashtabula
Outside your friend's house in Kingsville.
Kingsville.
while he's showing me Muse concert.
Just Muse videos on the.
Oh man. Well,
Well, Dustin, say hi to the peeps. What an intro.
Hello, people.
What
wait,
an
why'd you
intro.
say it was for me?
Well, I have a
This is
story
for
for
you.
you.
Oh, you have a story.
But
for
that
me.
was for him and
That
for
was for
everybody.
him.
For everyone
Okay.
being like, who's this guy that's just been in front of us for like 30 minutes?
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, you're such a man of mystery to them now, so
Oh,
not
I like
anymore.
mystery.
Yeah, because I guess they know me already.
Yeah. Yeah, you know him, you love him. If you don't, I do, so whatever.
If
Mr.
you, if-
Robinson.
If you
The
know
dry
him,
boy
you-
himself.
Just called me Mr. Robinson.
Well, before because I've got a couple questions for you,
Yes, to
Dustin.
you, Mrs. Robinson.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I said
yeah.
way the
Great
wrong
song.
word just then. I
That is
said,
a great
please, Mr. Robinson.
Please.
That one's for me. Am I out of frame? I'm leaning this way.
No, you're in frame.
Okay, good.
Believe it, it's a pretty wide.
Do we actually know?
Paul does.
I do.
Okay.
I hope I've only my head's out
Half
of frame.
of your face. is- Yeah, and
Well,
there's just
you're
this
like-
whole extra seat. that's in
We
there.
look at the camera that is looking at us, and you're like, yeah, yeah. You're
Oh yeah, we can't
He's sitting
see
on
it.
the other side of it. But so you know what I just learned recently
What?
is that Starry.
Starry.
The-
Oh,
was the old
carbonated
Sierra
beverage.
Mist, wasn't it?
Well,
Is.
Sierra Mist. What happened was they didn't renew the name trademark.
with who?
I
Mr.
heard-
Trademark?
Yeah, Mr. Trademark.
I heard that they got sued by like.
Oh, no, maybe
some-
that's what it was.
It was like a SoundCloud rapper girl or something like that.
Okay,
whose
I
name
think
was
I think
Sierra
you are
Mist.
right. You are right.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was like
You didn't
over a
hear that?
lawsuit. It was over a lawsuit,
She
and they had to
sued 'em,
change their name.
And they had to change their
That's
name
what
to
it was.
Starry.
Thank
No
you. Thank
way.
you. I was thinking of something else. But yeah,
Wow.
so that's why it changed. I just found that
Wow.
out myself.
But I've never understood it because Sierra Mist has been around forever.
I mean, not really though, because like I feel like when I was a kid, there was no Sierra Mist. Like I remember Sierra Mist in high school,
Yeah.
like vending machines in high school. I don't remember it like vending machines when I was like a kid.
Dude, the pops I remember as a kid, I say pop because I'm from Kansas.
I say it because I'm from Ohio. So.
Nice.
I
nice.
the odd
don't,
man
'cause
out now.
I'm from Florida. Everything is Coke to me.
We were we were poor growing up, so I just remember Czech sodas and like
Poor
and then like
the way you
Thunder
said
Mountain.
that.
Poor.
Thunder Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember Thunder Mountains, and then
do.
it was Mountain.
I think they still have that at Winn Dixie.
It was Mountain Lightning.
Mountain Lightning.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was Walmart.
Mountain Walmart or Mountain Walmart.
Mountain Walmart.
Mountain Walmart's
That's
was like-
definitely a county. Yeah. The Mountain Walmart Corporation.
in Kingsville.
Kingsville.
Originated in Kingsville.
Absolutely.
That
Yeah.
checks out,
On
actually.
the outskirts of Ohio.
Well, so we've had these drinks poured here for a minute, so we should enjoy them.
Yeah.
I want you to enjoy them. But I'm curious. We know Steven over here is
Yeah.
a dry fella. But I asked this to everyone, so answer with whatever level you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on alcohol?
I don't really have
Cheers
a
to you
problem
guys,
with
by
it.
the
Oh yeah. Oh,
Ooh.
That was nice.
is that in unison?
Yeah.
It was.
Had to be.
Because it was on one sound.
I was cheersing Paul through yours.
Yeah. It's like a electrotherapy when you're holding one end of the. I don't know what I'm saying.
It's
So
funny because it still kind of tastes like dirty water.
yeah. Well, I think that's
I still like
that's
it.
pretty much what tea is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
I
point.
was gonna say I had a like.
Yeah, you're right.
Where you just come to the realization that tea is literally just dirty water. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other day, like my wife,
It's
we were
watered
having a
down leaves
discussion.
is what it is.
Yeah, 100%. So I had
Yeah.
a discussion of what was better for you, coffee or tea, like for your teeth.
Oh.
Mm.
And coffee is what? Beans?
Yep.
Coffee beans? And then
Coffee is what?
beans.
Beans?
Imagine, you remember that video that's like, imagine being allergic
Or
to beans.
legumes.
Do you remember that
Oh.
video on
No.
Instagram? It like took off
That'd be tough.
I love
for like
that, though.
6 months. It was like, imagine being allergic to beans. And then it was like, bro, if you don't grow up.
Did they mean to say bees?
No, he said beans.
Oh.
There's a bee. So no, I don't have a problem with alcohol, you know.
Well, after that little outburst.
I've never really had I do.
I don't have a problem with it either.
I don't
To be
either.
fair-
I'm quite good at it, actually.
Paul's the best at alcohol.
To be fair, Paul's the best at alcohol.
I love that amongst my friends.
I mean, you were a
there's-
COVID bartender. What?
It's true. So
Yeah.
I have to take that one into account.
Server of millions.
I love how I feel like a lot of people that know me think I'm just like this raging alcoholic. It's like I really don't drink that often.
Yeah, same. I'm more
But people think I'm doing it constantly.
Yeah, that is kind of there are certain people that just get like labeled that. You ever notice that?
Yeah, they're like he's having too much of a good time consistently.
Yeah, he's got that upper room fire on him, dude.
Oh,
But no,
man.
like I now, so I've gotten older, and my
As we all
opinion-
have.
Yeah, naturally, and my opinion has changed of it. Like when I was younger, pre-Jesus, Dustin, like I didn't really care
About
Just kinda-
anything, probably.
Yeah, in fact, my wife that I'm married to now, when we first were together as kids,
Not
and
Sadie
we had-
Robinson.
not Sadie Robinson, or my ex.
Shout out ex.
Take back shout out.
Her name is Beep.
She's from Ohio, Kingsville. We broke up because she was on space drugs. So it was,
Yeah.
that checks out.
Home
But
of
my
Mountain Walmart.
Mountain Walmart.
Try and keep all the we have to say all the callbacks every
I
time.
forgot.
We just keep adding to them.
what is the other one? I keep wanting to call it albuterol, but that's an inhaler.
Albuterol.
Casablanca.
The Ashtabula?
Astrabula, yes.
I can't remember it either.
I know. I kept wanting to say it, and then I was like, I'm going to embarrass myself because I'm going
That
to say
4-row
albuterol.
Ashtabula.
Yeah.
It's a third row seat.
I'm just
Astrabula.
gonna call it Casablanca.
Casablanca.
Isn't that cheese?
No, it's a movie.
It is a movie.
It's house cheese.
It might
No,
be
it's
cheese.
White House. Casablanca.
White House. What?
What am I thinking?
I don't
Casa
know.
is house in Spanish,
It
and
is.
Blanca is white. I thought.
Correct.
Yeah, the White House.
Is there a White House cheese?
Yeah, but it's
Isn't that government cheese?
Oh, you know what? I think it is government cheese.
It's conspiracy cheese.
Conspiracies.
Cheese.
Get your conspiracies today
Every
at Mountain,
slice you learn a
Mountain
new
Walmart.
classified document.
I feel like
Conspiracies.
Ninjas and Butterflies could play off of that and make it huge.
Conspiracies.
Conspiracy cheese.
Yeah, that's
Conspiracy cheese is the.
Oh yeah, that like government cheese was actually
Yeah.
like.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, I know, but like,
Yeah.
what if government cheese was actually subduing the populace?
What if that was the cheese they
Whoa.
used on all the pizza parties? Stuff?
Well, think about like even.
In Pizzagate.
and Pizzagate.
Oh,
Pizza-
It was
Pizzagate with
all
conspiracy
government
cheese?
Whoa!
but think about it. Like everybody that talks about government. Everybody that talks about government cheese talks about it fondly. They're always like, "Oh, that government cheese was the best cheese."
But I think it's like a nostalgia thing.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Because it's like
Joe
when I was
Rogan has talked about
when
it
I was a
before.
kid, like
Really?
I enjoyed making like a pie or like a cake out of just mud and just sitting in mud all day. But like now I'm like, why would I do that? That sounds terrible. I think it's just nostalgia.
Yeah.
There is a sense of nostalgia to it, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's like those those like wax bottle candy things.
Yes, I do.
Like they're disgusting.
they are.
But
gross.
whenever I see
Yeah.
them, I just think that's amazing. Because I remember it when I was a kid.
yeah,
I used to choke on those because there's a proper way to eat them.
you have to like.
And you bite, you
Yeah.
bite the top off and you drink it out. I would just put the whole thing in my mouth.
you
and start
serious?
Chewing it, yeah.
Oh no, I pop.
Isn't it like candle wax?
Yeah. Well,
Huh.
it's wax.
Yeah.
I think candles are made out.
I
of
feel like they have to
wax.
make it somewhat
Is there
edible.
a difference between candle wax and regular wax?
I think it's just
Well, it
like
depends
what
what
it,
it's made out of.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like beeswax or soy.
So yeah, when I was younger, I didn't really have a
Candle
problem
makers.
with alcohol. You know,
Candle makers.
candle makers.
So I need a guy
They
like
call me the
Jack
candle maker.
jump on over them.
Yeah,
I need a shirt that says that. They call me the candle maker. Just no context.
I love that.
I do too.
I do love that.
That's kind of sick.
Or a hat. Yeah.
And then on the back, it just says
Make it a
lit.
pocket tee.
Yeah. It says away.
It says
But I mean,
lit.
government
Oh.
cheese might be good.
No, like a little tag on the bottom that says lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They call me the candle maker. Lit.
Did you guys ever, with candles when you were a kid, like stick your fingers in the hot wax?
I still do that.
Okay. Yeah.
No, the best case
Where
scenario.
you do like the slow over the
Yeah.
top of the flame.
Paul,
Yeah.
you definitely put glue on your hands
Yeah, because I like to feel the stick.
and let it dry.
It was just the presentation.
No, I
of
didn't do that.
So,
I didn't
Paul,
do
you
that.
definitely put
You
glue on
definitely licked glue.
your hands. Yeah, you definitely put glue on your hands. That's
How
like
much
the same
paint did
energy.
you drink as a kid, Paul?
Yeah, it's like the same energy as like, Paul, you definitely eat paint chips, don't you?
I mean, yes, but how did you know?
Paul is a painter.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Paul the painter.
Paul the painter.
That is definitely a shirt. It would be great though to wear the shirt that says they call me the candle maker. Somebody sees it and says, "Hey, candle maker," and I go lit.
Lit.
That would be like full circle moment.
Yeah.
That would be.
Okay,
I'd do
so-
that to you.
It's ideal.
I feel like you should put a spin in there somewhere. It just seems appropriate, like a spin move when you're walking away.
Oh, I say,
like
I say
spin double
lit.
finger guns?
What
And
if you?
Yeah.
What if you do like
and
a
I go,
flame
"Pew,"
like
and a wick
lit,
comes out.
like a lit candle in the front? Yeah, yeah.
You just have a
lit candle.
candle with you.
And then an unlit candle on the back, and when you spin, it's like you blew the candle out. And you're just walking
Ooh.
away.
Oh, that's cool.
I always have a fog machine with me.
Or a vape. You're just like,
They should make like a handheld. No, I go like this, and there's just fog already in my shirt.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I just go like this, and it like.
bellows out.
They should make like a handheld fog machine that like you could at any point you
That's
could
what
just
a vape
have your
is,
own
I
fog.
feel like.
Yeah, but you
It's
have to like
vapor.
inhale, or you don't have to inhale it, but you have to like get it out. It'd be cool to
That's
just like
true.
press a button and
And
there's
it
smoke.
just shoots out. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a lighter, but for smoke.
You know what's crazy? It's some of the questions I was gonna ask, like conspiracy stuff, is actually less crazy than what we're talking about right now. I'm just sitting here, like I don't even know what's happening, but
I love
I
that.
think I like it.
So Dustin, you're getting older.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a question for you, real quick, Dustin. As you're getting,
You already
older.
asked him a question. We haven't let him answer it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
I
As
don't
you're
mind-
getting
I don't
older,
know.
I had a second one ready.
I don't mind alcohol. No.
That's cool.
I do. As I've gotten older, I have like, what am I looking for? Basically
view has
only
changed?
do it. Yeah, like I only do it on like occasion type of thing.
Okay.
Like I don't really just drink anymore. I do feel like becoming a worship leader and stuff played a part in that too, because
Yeah,
there
makes
was.
sense.
I mentioned it last night. Like there's
Yeah.
a conviction of like, it's one thing to go out with friends and just have a couple beers and drink and hang out, but if you're doing something like this, like a presentation,
Yeah.
to just put it out there, like, oh, he drinks, it seems different to me,
There's
So
a lot more
it's-
weight to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not a drinker, but on occasion, I would have a drink.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
It does.
it does.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big distinction that we can oftentimes not recognize.
Yeah.
Because when you think like, oh, he drinks like, oh, you're drinking like a tub, you know,
Yeah,
just
right.
whatever.
Yeah, and I feel like there's already a stigma behind like Christians or
Yeah.
anybody in the influential world of church
Yeah.
is already labeled in a bad light with that, and it's like,
Yeah, true.
no, there's not. I mean, Jesus made wine rather.
Yeah.
So it's like he made wine for people to have a good time at a celebration. So it's like, why would Jesus do it?
It seems like there's times when it's probably okay.
Yeah, I mean, the best wine too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just like a Kingsville brand. It was just it was like a Jesus.
Not a Mountain Walmart.
Then
Version.
they're not making wine there; they're making moonshine.
That's true.
It's
That's
a
true.
different level.
And then Western, or not Western, Midwestern.
Well,
Still think it's Central Emo. I'm gonna call it Central Emo.
Yeah, you can.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think as you're saying that, there's a comparison that maybe I haven't thought of as clearly as this, but I think there's a time and place for anything and everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
With that.
And I think it's the same as like a Catholic priest does not believe that marriage shouldn't happen. In fact, a Catholic priest condones proper marriage based on the Bible.
Yeah.
But a Catholic priest is not married.
Right.
So it's like, it's one of those things where like a Catholic priest cannot marry, but
Now-
endorses.
By cannot marry, do you mean they themselves cannot marry, or they cannot legally marry somebody as like a priest?
No, they
As a
themselves
priest,
cannot
you
be
can't get
married.
married. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got you.
So it's like for them, they're not saying marriage is bad. They're saying marriage is good, and they're reinforcing biblical marriage without representing it.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where it's like, because of the position that they hold, they don't engage in marriage, they themselves,
By choice,
by command.
by command.
Yeah, it's kind of part of their rule book, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
So that I think that's also why there's been an aversion to it in some evangelical circles of like appearance of evil type thing. It's like intentionally staying away from something because they feel called to stay away. It's very, very similar to the Nazarene oath, where like it's really just like, if I want to hold this position, there are things that come along with that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even if you work for a company, it's like if you there was that whole what was it? This is like a super niche thing, but like wasn't
What does
the
that mean?
Super niche?
Yeah, what does niche mean? I hear people using it all the time, and I'm just like, yeah, dude. And
It's
I don't
like
know
the other
what
way
it
to say
means
is
at all.
niche. I don't know if that makes more sense to you.
Niche?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not from Ohio. So
Yeah, sure, true.
I say Coke and niche.
It's like something that's very specific, or for like a very only a certain group of people enjoy it or know about it, or
So like a
it's
king.
like
No,
no, because
different category.
You don't get pleasure out of it.
I mean, you might,
might,
but
yeah.
it's-
Fair.
Yeah,
So it's a subgenre of kink, is what it is.
it's like
Very specific.
it's like an inside joke. So like
Okay.
in order for it to be funny to you, you have to be inside. So if it's niche, then there's only a small group of people that would understand what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
So
it's exclusive.
no, it's not exclusive.
Mm.
It just, you would have to have put your time into that area of pop culture or whatever.
Okay.
So like what I was gonna say is like the Logan Paul, the podcast that they have.
Yeah.
He
Paul-
doesn't he have
Impulsive?
Prime? Prime is the
Yeah, their energy drink thing.
it's like a
Him and JJ KSI.
I don't know, but then there was the guy George that left and started his own podcast,
Yeah.
and he got a different energy drink.
Did he?
Yeah, and it was, the whole thing was like, he was like, Logan Paul's thing was like, dude, like let my brand,
Be a brand.
like sponsor your show.
Yeah.
Like what? It's that type of thing. I don't remember why I was saying that,
Yeah.
but it made sense to what I was talking about right before this.
So if that all gets put together, you're
Yeah,
part of the
if
niche
you were
community.
If you were
The
following
niche.
me,
We just
'cause
made
I
our
wasn't.
own niche.
I think when I say niche, it reminds me of quiche.
Quiche?
It's
What's
kinda fun.
quiche?
That's why I don't say
You don't know
it.
what quiche is?
I don't know what quiche is.
It's like that eggy.
Don't say egg like that.
What? It is what. Well, it's like it's not just egg, but it's like.
Nah, like egg whites.
You pronounce egg.
It's
Egg with
egg
an
whites.
E. Egg.
Eggy.
Egg. For New Zealand. Oh man.
No, quiche is like a pie, but the base ingredient is eggs.
Yeah.
And then you put like different meats and stuff in it.
Meat pie?
No, it's not
No.
meat pie, but it has
It's like an egg pie.
yeah, and like you can
It's
put
an
like
eggy meat
ham.
pie.
You can put like
Eggy.
ham in it.
Yeah.
It's a good like breakfast.
So it's not a dessert then? Because
It's
I went
not.
straight
You've
to
probably eaten it, honestly.
like, yeah,
but-
that's a very.
I've literally served you one.
You're eating one right now.
You remember back when I was talking to Mr. Robinson?
Here's to you,
They love
Mrs.
them
Robinson.
Well, so I am curious actually for not
me?
for you, but about you.
I'm very well aware of my
How is
sexuality.
that's
Talking about kinks.
well, that answers one question.
There's one down. Scratch that off.
How is as you've gotten older? How has it been with?
And you
just,
have
like,
gotten older.
You have gotten
You have.
old. You have stated that, so you
I,
can't
in
say I'm
fact,
lying about
have
that.
become older since we started this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm rapidly aging at the moment.
So
Every day.
fast.
Every second.
I feel
Well,
like
so
a president
because
over
I
here.
find for myself,
Mr. Obama.
Mr. Bama man,
Mr. Bama.
With your southern constituents.
That's a good word.
Thanks.
reminds me of
I don't think I
Brother Art
pronounced
Thou.
it correctly.
Okay. Constituents.
Yeah.
Huh.
We
Oh.
have them.
Um,
We are them.
We are the constituents?
We are.
constituents.
That's not it. That's what he said.
That's how I
Oh,
pronounced
you
it.
did say that.
Yeah.
What's the proper
I
way?
didn't hear constituents. Wait,
Constituents.
That also
no,
sounds-
constituents.
There you go.
Constituents.
Yeah,
That's an
it's a hard one.
That's for sure.
Yeah,
an
that
indie
is
band
hard.
Somewhere, dude.
This episode is just
Constituents.
called Hard Words to Say.
They're
Rural
actually-
constituents.
They're not as hard. We're just not smart.
They're not as hard word as not smart. That's what you just said. Oh man.
So that actually brings me to what I was trying to say.
There's nothing in these Arnold.
Believe it or
There's nothing in these Palmers.
you know what's funny?
Palm.
They're light.
I was gonna ask a question about sleep and like mental clarity, and I've answered my own question for myself and for Steven.
Observe.
Just let me demonstrate.
Oh my gosh.
So how is that for you? Like on your like a day to day
Sleep.
How is that for you?
Like sleep, or like do you feel like
Struggling, man.
your energy's like I don't know. What am I trying to say?
Yeah.
Like as he gets older?
How do you feel like your energy levels throughout your years
Like, do I
of
rest
rapid
the same?
aging? Yeah.
Okay.
How's your rest?
Rest is not sleep.
How's your sleep?
Rest is not sleep. Yeah.
It's not.
It's not REM cycle sleep. Is that what they call it? REM cycle.
It's
Yeah.
not sleep at all.
True.
Hmm.
This is also true.
Rest can lead to sleep.
Because I'll say for myself, when
Rest
I was,
is a gateway drug.
Space drug.
it's so true.
Rest is a space drug to
the
sleep, dude.
space drug. That's the space drug.
An arbitros.
Arbitrage.
No, he's trying to figure out the county name.
Ashtabula. I was like, that's why I was like, why are you saying that word?
An albatross is a bird.
I like how I saw him thinking. He's like arbitros.
And I was like, why are we saying that
Trying
word?
to find the relevancy of it. Like, arbitros.
Casablanca.
Casablanca.
White House. Yeah.
Well, so I'll say
You
for
speak
me,
Spanish?
No.
you should
Well,
a little bit.
Yeah. Why don't you?
Casablanca though is set in Spain. I think it's South Spain, something like that.
Probably.
Anyways, keep
Yeah.
going.
yeah.
And
Well,
it is
so
the White
I was
House,
curious
but-
because
Yeah.
so for me it's like I found like as I've gotten older I realized how important sleep is,
Yeah.
and that when I don't get good sleep, then I sound like I do on this podcast.
How old are
today.
you?
I'm just turned 30.
Oh,
When I
congratulations.
say just, it was like 6 months ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah. You made it.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Thank you.
It's all downhill from here.
It
man.
is actually kind of a weird thing to hit that finally.
It is. Yeah.
I feel like I've crossed a border
Yeah.
Into
Yeah.
Ohio.
legally.
Legally crossed. Yeah. Well, you have to now. Yeah. You know.
But like, is that the case for you too?
Has he crossed the border?
Yeah.
I'm actually Mexican, believe it or not. There's a lot of Mexican in my family.
Really?
My
That's
bloodline
cool.
is like German and Mexican mainly.
Huh. That's
Weird,
cool.
huh?
Yeah, German and Mexican. Pretty
Yeah.
far apart.
Germexican. That's what I like to call it.
Huh.
Germexican. But as far as rest,
I was trying to put it together with the other way.
Mexer man.
McSermon. McSermon.
Yeah, that one's harder.
McSermon is about the only way to say that.
Jerksian?
Leave that one alone.
Germexian? Germexian. That sounds good.
Germexian works.
That does sound like a drug, though. Germexian.
Yeah. It kind of sounds
one
like
of
I need to
space drugs.
go refill my Germexian.
Germexian sounds more like a household cleaner to
I got a
me.
Germexian
Oh, yeah, I
guy.
can see
Like
that.
you would clean
A
counters and stuff.
Germexian guy. That's hilarious.
What do you instead of what's that Fabuloso? It's Germexian.
Oh yeah, that is a.
Mm,
It's a very fruity.
yeah.
Well, it sounds like a 99.9% cleaning thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0.9.
99.9% of people use Germexian.
Yeah.
Are you one of them?
99. If you've
Maybe
used
it's like-
Germexian in the last
If
6
you or
to 8
anyone
months,
you know has used.
you might have a benefit with Fabuloso.
And if you live in Kingsville, you can get
It's free.
yeah, it's free in Kingsville.
Free for your life.
You
What-
need it.
So if Germexian was like a household cleaner that you use,
Okay.
and then there were side effects to being within the atmosphere of Germexian for too long, what would they be?
Cancer.
Just right to the point.
Certain death.
He's like death. Yeah. Dooming.
Yeah. Well, there's one way to find
looming
out, I
death.
guess.
I think it'd be like
Yeah.
limb. I think it'd be
Let's
limb
make
loss.
it and find it.
Limb
No.
loss.
Or gain.
Like decaying
Limb
or
gain.
gain.
Yeah.
Limb gain.
Oh yeah, I guess that is a thing. Rats ingest it and they get like grow another arm.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, there are things like that.
It's crazy.
I don't know why, but yeah. So studies show that lab rats who have ingested Germexian, they grow a third arm.
Side effect. Yeah.
Don't they have 4?
Don't they have 4?
Do rats have 2 arms and 2
That
legs?
means, do they lose two? Or-
No, I think. Do they have 4 legs? They don't have arms.
They have things. They-
Huh?
like little ligaments.
They have things.
Yeah. Do they have 2 legs, 2
That's
arms?
a great question because I was
I
actually
guess they
talking
would
to
because they got those
somebody-
little hind boys.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, those are legs.
Yeah.
Hind boys.
So that would be that would be legs.
That sounds like a IPA, dude.
Hind boys.
Hind boys.
And it's just a rat.
Just the back legs.
Hind boys. I feel like that could sell.
No, I
Well,
think. What's the definition of an arm? It can't help you like walk.
No, I guess it'd be used to grab things.
So does a monkey have 4 arms?
I don't know.
Man, this
What do you
just
guys
got-
think?
This got
A
deep, didn't
a
it?
rat has
Yeah.
4 legs, no arms. A monkey has 4 arms, no legs.
But wait,
Well,
because
no,
rats
rats
can grab
grab
things
stuff.
with their hands.
Yeah.
Their front
they don't have
arms.
hands.
Yeah. Paws.
Don't they push them together? Don't they push it together?
If you
and
want to take this deeper, what,
Well-
do, what do flies have
stupid.
then? Because flies like
They're
rub their
always
little,
rubbing something.
Yeah, they're rubbing their little appendages together.
But those are just like straight lines. They don't even have any fingers.
Yeah, I don't think they have arms. I think they have legs only.
Yeah, but they
Because
grab
when they
stuff.
land, they don't land just on their back. They land on all 4s.
Do they consider? That was a dumb question. Never
I guess if you watch the Bee movie, they
I
walk
answered
around.
it in my head. I was like, no, I'm not going to say that.
Like, let's leave that one inside.
Yeah, really, I'll be back, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
taken me too long to get here, but I have a gift for you guys.
Oh,
gift.
I was not expecting a gift.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I was trying to set it up, and then it wasn't being set up, so I was like, I just got to cut to the chase
I feel like
here.
we're not answering any questions.
No.
No, so as far as sleep,
Oh, yeah, answer that. That's important.
Sleep is important.
so when I was younger, I don't think I've ever talked to anybody about this. It's not important, but when I
important
was
to me.
younger, I had this weird thing in my brain that I had myself convinced if I was sleeping too much that I was missing the day or missing things that I could be doing in my life
Yeah,
by
the same
sleeping.
way.
Arguably, you are.
Yeah, essentially. And
Yeah.
so like I just never really slept. Like I would just go to bed at like 3, 4 in the morning. Like even in school, I'd go to truthfully I was out partying, you know. So I'd go to parties and then I'd come home and then 4:30 I would crash and then get up at 6:30 and go to school. Like that was my regular day.
I live very similarly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so as I've gotten older, I've kind of got away from the thought process of like, well, I'm missing out on things because, you know, what are you really doing at 9 o'clock at night on a Tuesday? You know what I mean? So
Oof. Bingo night.
Taco Tuesday.
That's a big night.
Taco Tuesday, man. It gets
Tuesday's
real.
my biggest night.
But I've never
Lots of Arnold Palmies.
Some Arnie
He's
Palms.
been hitting them Arnie Palms hard.
Arnie Palms, man. How would you pronounce, what's a nickname for the Ryan Palmer one?
Rye dog.
Rye I feel like Rye Palms.
Rye Palm. Actually,
That's
that's not
really
bad.
close to
Napalm.
Napalm, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why it doesn't sell very well.
Is a Rye Palm like when they, so the
Anyway.
Napalm is the fire, the Rye Palm is
Here.
the
So anyway,
Guys,
Water.
open these up.
please let those be candles.
Because, oh, that'd be so
They
good.
call me the candle maker.
There's 2 in here. I want each of you to open one.
Okay.
If you ever meet me and you're watching this, please call me the candle maker.
Do you want the blue clouds or the red birds?
I'm not even sure what I'm looking at.
Yeah, you don't.
These are heavy.
Why are they so heavy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you I'm gravitating towards. What are you gravitating towards?
I feel like I naturally, my personality and dress wise is more vibrant.
I was
but
gonna guess
also, my
you would be
moods go
this
more
one.
blue.
Okay.
I
I
feel
could
like
see
you're
that.
more the, and it might just because you have green on.
Yeah. I would have naturally gravitated towards that.
Yeah.
Like emotionally, I would be this one. Outwardly, I would try to be this one.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
you can pull them out.
forgot.
You can pull them out.
I forgot someone was here.
Yeah, I'm like, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
All right, then I'll
Oh,
go
let
with
me-
the
let
more
me-
moody one, and
Here, take that. Oh, I don't have a knife for you guys.
I have
I
a
have
knife.
keys.
Oh, very good.
I have an actual knife.
We both have things.
Yeah.
Because we're men.
Oh, I left mine in the car.
Oh. It's 20 minutes away.
But as
get
I've
that.
My
as I've
car's
gotten
20
older, I
minutes
guess
away.
we can continue the combo, huh? As
Yeah,
I've gotten
you
older,
can keep talking.
I still have the
Oh, I just read what it says on the side.
Yeah.
I've
yeah.
let it go. Okay.
I've letting go.
I've let him go.
Have you ever seen that?
This?
Yeah.
Letting go.
No.
So this is Magic Mind.
Is this your sponsor?
It's my sponsor today.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Go to commercial.
Do you have an ad
cool.
read?
No, we're talking about it right now. This is the
Okay.
thing. So
You don't
here's
have a
why.
suggested ad read.
Here's how I was curious about it.
Okay.
Is because
Oh, is this how you're setting up the? Nice.
Yeah, I was trying.
I was like, there's no conspiracy.
It took
about
like
sleep.
15 minutes to get here.
Also, opening a thing with a knife with one hand is
Yeah, it's actually-
incredibly more difficult than you would think it'd be.
Kind of
Incredibly
crazy, actually.
All right, Mr. Strong Hands over here.
But yeah, check out this
I'm a
artwork
drummer.
on these boxes. Isn't it cool?
I don't know if I should be afraid or turned on.
Depends on your kink, I guess.
Why did I invite him on?
New flavor alert.
But yeah, check that out. So that the moody one is actually the Sleepy Boy.
Dude, I literally have this. Are you gonna secretly take these away from us after the show ends?
No, I want you guys to have some of them. I want some of them too. But
He said some of them.
I have this in my Safari as a tab right now.
do you really?
Yeah, because I wanted my wife to try it actually.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
Well, I want you guys to try some of those.
They're caffeine free.
There's a little bit of caffeine in them.
Okay.
Not very much. I think it's only like 30 milligrams of it. But there's a lot more like herbs and stuff in there. It's pretty cool. So this is the one, the
There's chlorophyll in here.
Is that what you put in your swimming pool? Well, this is a lot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, this is like a 30-day regiment.
So yeah, check this out. So this is the bundle that they have going on right now for January.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
Oh yeah.
So
Magic Mind.
this
Sleep.
one is the one that Dustin's holding. That one is for like daytime. So it helps actually. So I've had it for quite a bit, and it's like it kind of regulates your mood through the day.
That's
like
cool.
energy levels, not mood, energy. It makes my mood feel better too.
Yeah. Sharper mind, less stress, calm energy, more vitality.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty good. And then that one kind of helps you get to sleep deeper and better at night.
Yeah, drink
Which is
one
important.
shot 30 minutes before bed.
Yeah.
Best enjoyed chilled, but refrigeration isn't necessary. So if you don't have a refrigerator, you can still use Magic Mind.
It's kind of awesome. It's
Does
pretty
your
good.
box have encouragement on it too?
It
Mine
should, yeah.
says it's not magic, it's you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you, Magic Mind.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
And so
This-
check this out, guys. It's January. And
January.
so
It is?
with my code, still,
I feel
with
like
my
I've been
code,
living in
you can
February.
get 45% off this bundle going on right here. And I want you guys to enjoy it. I want you guys to enjoy it.
I've never heard of Magic Mind.
Dude, you're going to love this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want you to try some. You're going to love it.
I feel like you will really like
I
this.
start pounding like 4 of them down right now.
Because you seem like an energy drink guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so so the cool thing about
Are
that
you not?
is
I haven't had an energy drink in years. So I used to drink Monster a lot.
okay.
I could
Are
see
you a
that.
coffee guy or like a tea?
So I switched to coffee because I was like, energy drinks are so wicked bad for you.
Yeah,
They're so
they're
bad.
very bad
And
for you.
yeah, I just kind of cold turkeyed them and then went to caffeine.
Coffee.
Went to caffeine, and then caffeine started giving me like heart palpitations.
Really?
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So I had like very limited.
You know, tea has more caffeine in it.
Yeah, I do decaf tea.
Decaf tea.
Yeah.
That is a thing. Yeah.
Ooh, so you just dirty water is.
Just go find some
Yeah,
leaves
essentially,
outside.
it's
You
just-
should.
It's
This is-
watered
so-
down, dirty water.
This Magic Mind says it's non-habit forming and has no melatonin.
Yeah,
That's actually a big thing for me.
that's huge.
Bro,
Like,
I
I-
got a story for you about melatonin. one
See,
day.
I don't like.
Ooh,
I'm the type of person that like if I
actually,
wake
I got
up,
one myself.
I'm the type of person that like I like medicine does a lot to me because I
Mm.
don't take very much medicine.
Same.
Yeah.
So like it's not like everything I do is natural, but typically like if my head has to be hurting pretty bad for me to do anything about it, like I'll just push through and then eventually like good food and like being outside in the sun normally takes care of most of it, and then the
Yeah.
next day after sleep it's fine. But like
Ashwagandha.
if like like this morning I woke up and the last few days my neck has been like really sore.
Bro,
Oh, dang.
same.
But I won't like but that's for a different reason. But we're just not gonna tell anybody.
No, just
But-
leave that
I was
alone.
like,
but
Let their
I-
imagination run.
Leave the context out.
Yeah.
They're like, but why does his neck hurt?
You'll never know.
No.
But I
Yeah.
I won't take like an ibuprofen or something unless I'm like I can't move.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or like if I know I have to if I know I'm like having to like sing for a long period of time,
Yeah.
then I'm like, all right, I'll do this because it will like
Alleviate that.
it
Mm.
alleviates some of that where it's going to take focus away from what I need to do. So that's like I'm big on that. And my
Yeah.
wife will take a like more sleep aid type stuff. She
Oh, okay.
has a hard time going to sleep. So I had this in
Can I
my
see one of yours?
thing.
Yeah, take a look at that.
I love the color of it.
And it's a shot, right?
Yeah. But I was gonna say, so if you do, because I drink coffee.
I drink coffee every day.
So this stuff doesn't like replace it
mm-hmm.
at all, but you can take it alongside.
Don't
it
they have
actually will
stuff you can
help.
put in coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put that in coffee if you want.
Really?
I don't know
Nah.
about the sleep one, but I know the other one, the daytime one.
So then if there's, because I just don't know.
Yeah.
If there's no melatonin in it, what is the sleep aid in it?
Actually, I don't. That's a good question.
Well, so your body naturally produces melatonin.
Yeah.
So like anything like that's the difficult thing about things like melatonin is if you introduce something like melatonin that your body produces naturally to help you fall asleep, then because you're introducing it externally, your body will stop producing the amount it needs.
Yeah.
And so then you'll have to take melatonin because your body is
It's like it's
shutting
fighting
off
back
the
itself.
valve.
Yeah.
because
because it's already getting too much from
Yeah.
something, or enough from something else.
right. So
Yeah.
like that's why it's not good to give kids melatonin because you're teaching their body
Yeah.
to not produce melatonin.
Hmm.
So then they can never not take melatonin. They have to take it
Yeah.
externally.
Yeah.
And so like this stuff in here, you can see that there's like the chamomile and like the lavender, like all these different things kind of help promote the relaxation to put your body into like a state where it starts to like, oh, I should produce melatonin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it assists the melatonin use.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Or
Exactly.
triggers
production.
it.
Production.
Yeah.
Production. Production of what?
Yeah, so that's actually the same thing even with like the daytime one, because caffeine, I just learned this because what caffeine does is actually blocks out in your brain the fact that you are tired.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually give you any energy. That's how. So with this stuff, it actually doesn't do that, but it actually promotes the same thing inside your body of like, oh, I should produce some energy here.
Yeah. That's the whole study of like
How do you guys?
you should wait 90 minutes before drinking coffee in the morning because otherwise
Yeah.
you're interrupting
Process.
your body's chemical process of
Yeah.
waking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
How do you
So
guys- how do you guys feel about dragon fruit?
I like dragon fruit.
Um.
You indifferent?
I think it tastes good.
Yeah. I mean, if it came from dragons, I might feel differently about it.
Yeah, it does look like a dragon egg,
It does.
or
what I'd think one would
or
look like, at
something.
least.
something from a dragon.
Is that funny? As far as I know,
Excrement.
we've never seen a dragon egg, but we're like, that's
A
it.
dragon egg.
Dragon
that's
egg.
You ever
dragon
seen a
egg.
dragon
A
egg?
dragon egg. So let me go ahead and
That's
read
more
this.
Canadian.
Let me
than
go ahead and
Australian.
read this here.
Okay.
Like a drunk guy trying to
So,
put Gatorade.
This
Dragon
stuff
egg.
that we're talking about here, it's beautiful stuff.
Thank you. by the way.
Beautiful stuff.
Yes,
oh,
thank you,
absolutely.
Magic Mind.
You can get it yourself with my code for 45% off. That bundle there.
It's not magic.
You got to go to this. It's not
It's
magic.
you.
So it's magicmind.com/TTOJAN. And let me spell that out because there's a good chance I mispronounced it. magicmind.com/ all caps TTOJAN. So go ahead and
Careful.
get yourself in a better place. It's not magic, is it, Dustin?
It's you.
It's you.
What did your box say?
Where magic meets
Is this-
science.
does it
Oh yeah,
both
what
say
does
that?
yours say?
Oh, it says the same. Yeah.
But it feels good both times.
I feel like it should say something different. Like it's not rest, it's rim.
It's not rest,
Yeah.
it's
Rim's like-
row.
Fall asleep faster, improve sleep
Or
quality,
whoa,
wake
whoa.
up refreshed.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
What were you saying? Woo.
Whoa.
So if you live in a woo area, you should drink Magic Mind.
Yeah, precisely.
should.
Kingsville.
They definitely need that.
They definitely need it.
I feel like you wanted to ask us about a conspiracy
Why did we all lean forward
I actually
at the
did.
same time?
I wanted to grab my drink,
Oh, okay.
because
and then we were
it's
all here.
time.
Does everybody else have the
Are you ready
like,
for this?
like what is it called, OCD type of thing where you have to like center your cup on a coaster?
No, I don't have OCD. I've got ADHD.
I have a problem. I have that, I think.
That's what our pastor told me, at least. And I've just kind of lived with that.
My pastor told me I didn't have enough confidence.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No way.
He's like, you're like, there's arrogance, and then there's humble, and then there's confident. And he was like, we need to get you like in the middle point of this.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems like confidence is the middle point.
I'm like,
That's
can
what
you
I
hear
thought.
yourself?
Yeah. Because you can be, because we had a conversation of how you can be too humble, and then it's not humble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an arrogant.
Yeah. It's like egotistical humble almost.
Yeah. That's a weird idea.
Didn't you hear me chewing gum in here?
But I wouldn't categorize
You do
that as
that way,
too
yeah.
humble. Like,
'Cause
it's not
you're
through the
putting on the
process
facade
of
of being-
humility.
Yeah.
It's through the process of arrogance.
Here's the thing. Do you think church is plural?
I feel like as soon as you say church, we're in a completely different conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. I should apologize for that. So do you think,
So anyway.
I don't remember the question now. What did you just say a second ago?
If I don't think that what you're talking about, I don't think you can go through humility to get to arrogance. I think, I don't think you can be too humble if it's true humility.
Yeah.
I think
True.
it's just it's a false humility through arrogance.
False humility
So
is
what do you
good.
think about Moses writing that he was the most humble man?
Yeah. Did
If
write
it
that?
was Moses that wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
the
started
thing.
saying,
That's-
did he write that?
That's debatable.
You know what I heard yesterday?
Well, he definitely didn't write, and now I died.
No,
Would that be wild though? Like his final movements, and now I
go. And now I'm
Well,
going.
and then it's just
and
like-
now I'm going down.
Well,
I'm going down currently.
Paul, you and
Now
I.
I'm down and going.
I am now taking my final breath.
Oh, here I go now. ...
JK, this time
Still
it's
here.
for real.
Now
gotta
I'm
take my
dead.
shoes
Here's
off.
the rest of the. Here's the rest of the book.
And then he just screams, Aaron.
if that's true, that really was the Holy Spirit that wrote that because Moses was dead.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Or he just wrote it and then died.
Wasn't
Yeah.
Moses, wasn't his body taken and buried somewhere by the Holy Spirit?
Not
Or
by the Holy
not
Spirit.
by the Holy Spirit, but by the angel of the Lord, as it says. An angel of the Lord.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. It was discussed though.
Yeah,
So is that Jude?
I think so because that's Michael.
Yeah, there's an argument over the bones of Moses.
Yeah,
Like Megatron, Michael?
the different one. Megatron's a different character. But so I
Different
I am
book.
curious. I am curious. We've seen a lot of stuff happening lately. Are you familiar with like Graham Hancock?
No.
Like Ancient Apocalypse? It's on Netflix.
No.
Oh, dude, you would dig this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ancient Apocalypse.
Wait. I wanted to say something really quick.
Oh.
Hold your thought.
Well, no, you can ignore that. Okay, yeah.
No. What I wanted to say was, you and I were just talking about Saint Mark, who wrote the Gospel of Mark, but he penned the Gospel of Mark, and presumably it was written by Peter through Mark.
Yeah, according to Fox's Book of Martyrs. Ooh, we said that in sync. I love it.
Yeah. Tickled my ears.
Which is our new podcast.
Yes. Why don't you tell them a little bit about it?
So Paul and I have a new podcast called Martyrs Row. When this comes out, I feel like maybe the first
Not quite
episode.
yet.
Okay.
This is coming out in like a day or two.
Yeah.
You guys drink
So-
Oni Palms on there?
No,
We actually we go
we go water.
parched on that.
Sometimes, yeah.
Dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dry.
Like
Yeah,
Sahara
we're
dry.
desert boys on there.
Desert Dry.
Desert boy.
That's a song title, Desert Dry.
I like that.
Is that the track after Space Drugs?
That's one of those interlude tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Martyrs Row is Paul and I's new podcast, where we begin and we go through the Fox's Book of Martyrs. We remember the saints, and then we kind of have a silly time with. It kind of has become, in the format that we've been in, it's kind of become a like conversation after Sunday school. It's like the conversation you would have once Sunday school is over. Is really like,
And it's the question you'd be like, hey, so I was just wondering.
yeah. And we explore it with the intention of like, when you ask a question, it's the biggest thing on your mind, especially if you're remembering it for a while. And sometimes that question is actually pretty small. And then sometimes it's huge and central to the conversation. And so like, that's our attempt, is to answer those questions and frame them, hopefully frame them well, and kind of say like, hey, this actually is a small topic. But when somebody says, don't worry about that, it's not that big of a deal. Well, if you ask the question, it probably is a big deal to you.
Yeah.
So that's not the best response to somebody, because now it's going to be even a bigger deal. It's like, don't look in that box. Well, now all I want to do is look in that box.
Because I mean, there's things that we see, and I think oftentimes, at least for me, what I'm asking is, how does this fit? Like, I'm hearing this piece of a new reality or a new piece of information. How do I fit this into my universe?
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, well, let's explore that and see, like, oh, this is how this could fit into the fabric of Scripture or the world that we live in.
Yeah.
Live
So
into.
it's
Theoretically.
Well,
it's a lot of
Theoretically.
It's a lot of footnotes. It's not necessarily scholarly, but it's definitely more theological education.
yeah,
So,
Also,
all right, enough of that.
we
Also
learned from a
think-
lot of smart people.
Martyrs Row.
I think scholarly is also another rural type word.
I think asterisk is one.
But that sounds cool though, for real. That
Yeah.
the podcast, not asterisks.
Asterisks are pretty cool though too.
Those are cool. It's a
Like
cool word.
stars.
They're good add-ons.
I think it's a cooler
Star.
word
Is
than
it a star?
symbol.
Asterisk?
It's
Depends on who you
with
ask.
a lot of points.
So what's it called again? The new one? Podcast?
Martyrs Row.
Martyrs Row.
Mhm.
And it's about the book? A
No,
book?
that's our
That's
starting
our
point.
open.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that book called? I've never heard of that.
Fox's Book of Martyrs.
Yeah.
So John Fox in the 1500s essentially chronicled all of the saints who were martyred.
Yep.
In order to tell their story in a concise way.
Yeah.
So it's a catalog basically of all of the more famous church
Yeah.
martyrs.
Do you think John is the second witness?
What? John Fox?
No.
That's why I was like, wait, which John are we talking
John
about? here?
Mellencamp. John, one of the
Revelator?
apostles. Yeah, the apostles. Supposedly, it's never accounted for his death in the Bible.
Oh, well, there's a lot of people that their death is not accounted for in the Bible.
Yeah.
What, like specifically the apostles?
Well, almost all of them though. Like Peter's death is not in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I
Yeah,
guess I've never paid attention to that.
yeah. The first martyr is like the first martyr after Christ is Stephen.
Yeah.
Yep.
He gets stoned. Yeah, there's jokes there, but we won't make them.
We've already made them.
I like the pause for it. He was like, yeah.
He's like space drugs.
Yeah.
But most of the apostles' deaths are not in the Bible, but
So-
they're accounted for in Catholic tradition and
Yeah.
and they're written down by historians.
What, like in scrolls or something?
Yeah, on various napkins and things like that.
yeah. Like
They're at a
tissues.
Roman cafe and they're like, check this out.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you
But
want to hear
that's-
about Paul?
But that's actually the reason why John Foxe writes Foxe's Book of Martyrs.
To account for it.
Yeah, he brings all of the tradition of the deaths and brings them all into a concise category.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, or a
Yeah.
catalog.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's
So,
really
it's,
cool.
it's a fascinating read.
It is.
I need to.
Because they're
check
short.
that out.
They're short snippets that we read at the beginning of every. So we go. Every episode is a different martyr.
You, like set the topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
We always try to find a pathway through. What's our
Yeah.
through line?
Yeah.
Some
You
of them
alright?
are flimsier than others, but
I just don't want to
That
pull
was-
it. You know.
oh yeah, you're good.
So what's your conspiracy question?
Yeah.
you also had a
so-
question a little bit ago that
That I
Most-
told you to pause.
most
on.
likely.
Do you remember it?
No,
I
but
asked you to remember it, Paul.
oh, I'm sorry, I failed you. I'm only human. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, what was it?
Well, this one is probably better than what that was.
Okay.
Maybe, unless you can think of it, then remind me.
you can think of your question.
Graham Hancock.
That
Ancient
is the
Apocalypse.
question you
Oh,
were
that was
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
'cause
same
you
direction
got-
I was gonna head.
You got to Graham. I let
'Cause
you
you-
go long enough to where hopefully you'd remember it.
Oh,
And you,
thank
you
you.
asked me about it, and I
And
had
then
no
I
idea
answered.
who it was.
Okay.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ancient Apocalypse.
He's got 2 seasons up now. So one of the things that he and it's funny
Ancient
is
Apocalypse.
Ancient Apocalypse. He gets like poo-pooed on by a lot.
That's a kind way of saying it.
Thanks. That's a very Christian way of
Childish.
saying
It's
that.
very Christian.
Because what he is presenting is that, hey, there was ancient civilizations that we can still see remnants of that were far, like, way advanced and way super intelligent.
Like the Tartarians.
Yeah. And then there was this catastrophe that happened. And then now we're kind of like, we see the path from where we are. But it's like asking the question of like, so I'm finding all these things, sometimes 50 feet underwater, civilizations, or under the Amazon rainforest, just
Or
these
at the top of
pathways and
Everest, there's,
roads.
like seashells and stuff. So you're talking about?
Even, oh, that's not that one, but
Yeah.
no, as far as like, even like in the Amazon, they've done like LiDAR scans, like, oh, we can actually see city outlines
Yeah.
and
Really?
roadways
That's terrifying.
underneath the Amazon. So it's like,
Well, he argues in season 2 that the Amazon rainforest was actually a byproduct of like that it was man-made.
yeah, because they were so good at fertilizing and plant life that it just
Yeah.
kind of
Like they
sprung
didn't
out.
Yeah.
build the Amazon rainforest, but what they were built, the way that they did agriculture and everything that they left behind,
the ancient.
yeah,
Yeah.
it caused the rainforest to grow
Mm-hmm.
the way that it did
Mm.
because of everything, like how they were fertilizing and like all the stuff that they came up with.
Yeah.
You or me.
That's you.
Nice, you guys.
Shout out.
That-
Thanks.
Actually, bleep that out.
But which?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Well, so with that, he's basically presenting these ideas.
Robinson.
And Sadie over here.
Robinson.
Robinson.
Please, Robinson.
Save me, Robinson.
Save.
What was I saying?
The rainforest.
My
Graham Hancock.
my attention span for my own thoughts are only so big.
I saw the entire thing play out across your face.
Yeah, it
You're
left
like,
you.
You're like,
I was
yeah.
like,
And then you're almost fearful of the leave. You were like,
Oh shoot. Well, anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
this whole podcast is a tangent.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's where I live. But the problem is I'm trying to remember these things, then they keep leaving me.
Graham Hancock.
Tangent County.
Amazon rainforest.
Yep.
LiDAR detection.
Oh yeah. Thank you. That's why I need Steven. So basically, the thought that at least that I've always been taught, and I think a lot of people have, is that, oh, the ancients were stupid. Like they couldn't tell their foot from their hand.
Primitive, yeah.
Yeah, they were very, very dumb people.
Yeah.
And he's coming up and saying, actually, no, look at this. They actually were probably smarter than us in
Way
some
beyond.
ways. So it's like there's things that we can't figure out. And so he's challenging the mainstream historical or archaeological ideas. And no one really likes it that much, but it's hard to deny a lot of it.
Yeah.
And so what's curious about it, and this is where I asked you before we started recording, where you are in the conspiracy,
Yeah, you did.
the biblical conspiracy hole.
Yeah.
And
I guess
so-
I'm not very far, huh?
This might be a really big one, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it,
On the
if
ancients?
you're so willing. So it goes back to pre-flood. There's a whole lot of stuff that happened.
The antediluvian world.
Yes, but now I actually want to ask the question, and we could even focus just on the antediluvian if we
Yeah.
want to sit there. But it's like, what happened before God? What happened before the 7 days of creation?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
So, because it's interesting, because I feel like a lot of stuff that is
Does this
being
recline?
seen. It does actually.
I thought so.
I
I don't need it. I can just feel it shifting.
because I feel like it
just
would knock
blows the
everything out.
Boom!
Bam!
It's not magic. It's you.
It's you. And then that's when the jug explodes.
Magic Mind slow motion with the label out goes right into the camera.
Also, Magic
That'd be-
Mind is seriously close to Magic Mike.
Well, let's not go there.
Yeah.
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 Can have the same outcome. Kind of, certain different types of drinks and stuff.
Wow. That's something to think
That's
about.
a great question. And honestly, to just be dead honest, I don't think I've ever thought about it.
Okay. Interesting.
I
Yeah.
feel like that would be a common answer.
Yeah.
Probably. And
Like-
I'm just that weirdo that I sit up at night. Like,
Yeah. I mean, no, it's a very like valid, thing to think, because who doesn't question, well, what's before the beginning?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you just said that you don't.
Yeah, it's just true. Yeah, that's very true.
Or
So,
you hadn't.
next question.
Question answered.
But it,
Yeah. Well,
but
I
it
mean-
is, it
yeah.
is interesting to think of that. It's not relating to your question, but I'll tell you what I have often thought about is when it says that the Spirit of God was floating over the dark waters,
Yeah.
Hovering.
hovering. Yeah,
Over the
And
face
I
of
was-
the deep.
yeah. And
Yeah,
so I'm like,
Floating
well,
is the NLT.
what is the dark waters? Yeah,
Yeah.
NLT.
No, that's a great question. I mean,
Yeah.
even when we see it's like, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void.
You're right.
It's like, well, hold on.
So then,
And
what was it?
the spirit of God was hovering over
The Spirit of the God
of the God.
was hovering over the water. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
sorry.
it says.
I'm speaking too fast for my brain right now.
Yeah. And it says
You need
and
Magic Mind.
I'm working off half a tuna can today.
It's not magic.
It's you.
It's you.
You discount code.
We're not magic. You are.
I feel like you should. Do you genuinely have a discount code for that?
I do.
You should plug it like every 13 seconds, just like an
Run
inward
up the
joke
bill.
like that. Like it's not magic. It's you.
Magicmind.com/TTOJAN.
TTO.
TTO.
Jan.
JAN.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know what the O's for, but I know the TT is for Tipsy Theology.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
TTO.
TTO.
And then January would be January.
Tipsy
JAN.
Theology
Jan.
offer
JAN. Yeah.
January.
Is it a
TTO
monthly thing?
JAN.
This one's for the month of January.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Magic. Mind.
45% off.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Magic Mind.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks, Magic Mind.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks, Magic Mind.
One of my friends, one of my best friends, he,
Bleep that out.
we have this thing.
I'm just gonna change all of them to Sadie.
Robinson. Sadie Robinson.
Sadie
Wait, say it clean.
Sadie Robinson.
Good.
Now we
So
can- Sadie Robinson.
Sadie Robinson.
Shout out to Sadie Robinson.
Oh, my friend Sadie Robinson is calling.
But my friend, this is completely irrelevant to everything we're talking about, but you made me think
Perfect.
of it when you were like, Magic Mind. There's a video of this kid, of this random kid. Like it was like Vine days, and the kid would just go,
Vine
"Wait a
days,
minute, Vine days."
Oh
He would just go, "Wait a minute, Who are you?
Oh yeah, that's the
You remember
kazoo
that?
kid.
Yeah.
Are you sure that wasn't Paul?
I wish I could be as majestic as
He
kazoo
was.
kid.
He had like a perfectly squared off bowl cut.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he did.
Yeah, dude. He looked like a Beatle,
Oh, it's so good.
like the band Beatle. Beatles.
Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson.
Robinson.
That's a Beatles song.
It is.
Or is it the Monkees?
that's
The monkeys.
no, that's Simon and Garfunkel.
No, it's not.
Oh wait, no, you're right.
I think it is.
That's the
Beatles.
Monkeys.
It's one of them. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees.
What am I thinking of? The Simon and Garfunkel one.
I don't know. I immediately went to those two
But I think that is the
magicians,
Monkeys.
but it's not Simon and Garfunkel. When you said that, I was like,
Penn
the
and
magician?
Teller?
Yeah, there we go.
No, you're right. It is Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, it is? Okay, I'm right.
Here's to you,
Thank goodness.
Mrs.
Man,
Robinson.
we just got
I got- you got-
Jesus
you
loves
gaslit me
more
into-
than you
You
will
did,
know.
and you believed it.
Well,
I know.
well,
You were
I was
like-
like, I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I don't want to be stupid.
God
You were like,
loves
oh wait,
you.
you're right.
I don't want to sound stupid. So.
He's right. The band was actually Sadie Robinson.
Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller. That's what I went to, and you're like
That's
Simon and
so-
Garfunkel. I was like, that's magic. It's not
It's
magic.
Mine.
magic.
It's not magic.
Mine.
It's you.
.com/TTOJAN.
45%.
45% off the bundle.
January
Get it
only. You got
now.
what? 2 days?
Buy it. Buy it now.
Yeah, 2
Magic
days.
Mind. / Sadie Robinson.
Yeah.
Make that.
Underscore.
that your
cross
February-
I want
equal
that for
sign.
all of my discount codes.
Sadie Robinson.
Make your
Be
fam-
Sadie.
make your February code Sadie Robinson.
That'd be so good.
TTO.
Jan.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So what does the O mean?
Offer? That's a guess.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So what
TTO.
happened before the world began?
And that's why I'm like, why even bother? Too busy about Sadie.
So what did you call the ancient before the flood
the
civilization?
antediluvian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it called that?
Paul.
I'm trying to remember because what is diluvian?
I feel like it's a Latin thing, right?
I think it's like, isn't that catastrophe or something? Or something about some kind of
So
destruction.
pre-catastrophe.
So basically like pre and post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then wouldn't diluvian be after the flood because it was after the catastrophe?
Mm-hmm.
We live in the Diluvian era.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you said pre-diluvian.
Yeah.
It's antediluvian, right?
Anti. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't say pre. I said pre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You said anti.
Prehistoric antediluvian.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, so this is why I'm curious about it. And because a lot of it's like before creation. On one hand, it's like the first couple verses in Genesis are kind of confusing too. It's
Yeah.
like that can mean a lot.
Yeah.
But there is a reading of it from the Hebrew scriptures that can actually be read as when God began to create, instead of in the beginning God created.
Right.
And it's perfectly valid, just as valid as the one we go with. And we just go with it because of tradition.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, well, that's kind of interesting. And especially when you tie in, I think it's Psalm 72, where the psalmist is writing about before God laid the foundations of the earth and created everything,
Mm-hmm.
he had to behead the sea monster,
Leviathan.
the Leviathan.
Like a horror movie marathon.
Yeah.
Leviathan.
And then he established creation as we know it.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
because
it's
it's
a little bit of like battle language, like
Mm-hmm.
like he tames the waters.
Yeah.
Well, he supposedly it says in Revelations that he like fed that to people too, didn't he? Or am I thinking of something totally different?
That one
Because
doesn't
he
ring
said
a
he
bell.
slayed the first Leviathan.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure.
Because it talks about it in Revelations, don't it?
Well, he was just saying like Psalm 72 talks about Leviathan.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one in Revelation, that one doesn't ring a bell to me, though.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, don't quote me on it. I have to
I will.
do some research. Okay. Nah, okay. And I'll have
Quote
to
by
figure it out, and
Sadie
I'll text it
Robinson.
to you.
Well, let me ask you this then. What is your favorite, or currently, what are you studying Bible-wise?
Hmm.
It could be conspiracy, it could be whatever. What's like something that's really stuck out to you?
I'm like an origin story kind of person.
Okay.
So I've finished it and I haven't started anything else. But within the last, I would say, couple months, I really dove into Acts a lot. Could be just from some church hurt that I've gone through.
Yeah.
But just like learning the origin of what the purpose and the point and how the structure of church, if you will, was or should have been or was created for, and along those lines of things. So I haven't really been into any conspiracy that much. Sadie Robinson, and we dove into we started to, but
Beep that out.
we actually went to Sadie Robinson
Sadie Robinson
a few months ago.
A few months ago, we Sadie Robinson.
But we were, and I talked about this Sadie Robinson to you here a little while ago too. Of
Bleep that out.
What did you do back then?
what did you do?
Sorry, it's too easy.
But the Watchers, remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
like mentioning to you,
Yeah.
like I've heard about them, but I've never really looked into what the Watchers were, and it's
Yeah.
not necessarily, I guess, a conspiracy either. But
It's not. That word is in the Bible.
yeah, it's not a
Yeah.
conspiracy
In the
at all, but-
mainstream, though,
The
it is
title.
still considered fringe theology.
Right? Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it's like a very basic level of like most Christians don't think of that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what were the Watchers? What are the Watchers? So
Yeah.
I guess I didn't really answer your question because I haven't really been into conspiracy
Can I?
as much as I've just kind of delved into the,
Yeah.
That
That it's.
The fringe
I will say
topics.
it's funny
yeah,
because
blurry.
I mean this is ooh,
Sadie Robinson.
I've been
bleep
in this
that.
world. I like ooh Sadie Robinson.
Blurry Robinson.
Blurry Robinson. Because I've been involved in like this world of this kind of study for like 12 years now.
That's a significant number.
It's
Yeah.
true. I'm at the peak now. The peak.
I was like, did you?
I just cracked.
There's a voice crack.
Yeah, it happens. I'm still going through puberty.
We all are.
This
Yeah.
is 30.
That's why I'm still emo.
This is 30.
My parents just don't understand me.
This is 30.
Emo 30.
Still going through puberty.
30 and emo. That's
30 emo.
I think there's a Death Cab song similar to that title. But so it's
Maybe.
funny because I've been in this world for a little while, and there's just some really wild things out there.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I watched this video recently. Someone's like, "Oh, here's the Bible conspiracy iceberg." And like tier 1 through tier 5. And I listened to tier 5 and I was like, that's it?
I was about to say, there's only
you're
5
deep,
tiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, oh yeah, like top tier. It's like, oh, like the Watchers and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
that's tier 5.
So my thing.
Oh, I thought
behind
that
all
was tier
is-
1.
That's what I would have thought. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing behind that is I've heard about a lot of it, but I've never really explored it.
Okay.
So like I have knowledge, if you will, of a lot of that rabbit hole because I had some friends that, well, friends will just talk about it and stuff, but I've never myself went and done my own research to like.
Yeah.
So I've basically only heard what people bring to the surface, if you will.
Yeah. So the funny thing is like it's not like we would call it fringe theology because it's not talked about as much.
Because it's not just public, like everyone.
Yeah. But if you actually like sit with the Old Testament, the whole thing, it's not fringe. It's central to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pretty big theme.
So like, and not just watchers, but like spiritual beings at work, in the air and influencing, like the idea that like the earth is a reflection of the spiritual. And even going into Paul's, like right now we see through a mirror dimly. And it's that idea that like the clarity of what's really going on is everything we can't see. That is talked about pretty specifically. Like it's almost like yeah, why is the conversation around demons so central to the New Testament? Because it really is. It's like even Jesus says, some will say we even cast out demons in your name, and then the Lord will say, I never knew you. like when you have lines like that, it's like, well, why are demons so prevalent in the conversation throughout the New Testament?
Yeah.
And then through the Old Testament, you have all of these spiritual being interactions. Even when you get to like Zechariah and Micah, like right at the end of the Old Testament, it starts to get way more spiritual in conversation and visualizing what's happening and things like that, and setting up the Savior to come. That it is a not flesh and blood, but spirits of the air.
Well, it's one thing you said I find fascinating with that too is when we look at the New Testament, like casting out demons was pretty central to, or was a major theme inside of Christ's ministry. It was a big thing that he did, but we don't actually see that anywhere in the Old Testament. Like casting out demons just wasn't really a thing.
Right.
And so it asks a couple questions, but one of them is like, well, then when Jesus was doing that, why would they say, oh, that's the work of Satan because he's not the Messiah?
Yeah.
It's like, well, why are they attaching that to a messianic figure?
But then Jesus' response is, why would the king
The devil
of the,
cast out the devil.
Yeah, why
The
would
devil
so then
cast out
he
the devil.
establishes a ranking and an order and an
Right.
acknowledgement of these things
Yeah.
that are active and real,
Yeah.
and not just like fake things.
Well, so what's interesting with that is like, because I think it's like, well, where did that idea come from? That this is a
Right.
Messiah act,
Yeah.
and it's like an act that actually comes from the Psalms. I think it's Psalm 91. There's like some of that language in there, but there's even some Psalms that aren't canon that have that language that speaks to this is what the Messiah will do.
Well, in on Martyrs Row recently, you had brought up that there are several Psalms that were just found in the Dead Sea Scrolls
Yes,
that we currently have, that we
Yeah.
currently use, which is fascinating.
it's a crazy idea, right?
Yeah. That there's some Psalms in the book of Psalms that we read right now that were found in 1947.
Yeah, and
Oh,
some
in
of
the
them,
Dead Sea Scrolls?
Yeah.
yeah, and some of
That
them
they were like
we
missing
see
Psalms.
in the temptation
Wow.
of Jesus. That's what Satan, the devil, there is referring to. He's quoting it, but up until that point, like we didn't have that in our.
He's quoting from the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Well, he's quoting the psalm that we didn't discover until the Dead Sea Scroll.
Ah.
Yeah, which brought validity
Yeah.
to it and why it was added into the canon.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I didn't know. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever heard that part, actually.
it's pretty cool. I just
Yeah.
found that out myself. Yeah,
Yeah, that's wild.
I found out from Paul.
Oh.
I just believed him.
you should.
I just believe him.
I just believed it.
That's wild, though. Like to think about.
Yeah, but it is like what you're saying though. It's like, oh, that's something I never thought about. And I think for a lot of people, they would say, well, it doesn't seem that important.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's cool what Stephen just said is like, well, when you actually spend time with the Old Testament, which to be fair, a lot of modern day Christians don't. We love our
No,
New
dude.
Testament.
Yeah.
Because
It's shorter.
it's shorter, and
Really,
we just
the Old
focus.
Testament is so
We
much more
focus on the bits that
interesting.
we really like.
Yeah.
Because we ignore a lot of the other stuff that we criticize the Old Testament for.
What's like human nature to push out something you don't understand?
Yeah, and that's also it. It's like
Right.
there's so much of the ancient world that's written into the Old Testament
Yeah.
that we're so alienated from it that we don't understand most of what's happening.
Yeah, man. That's like you talk about the fringe of it is like how the Old Testament talks about all this supernatural stuff that people just ignore, you know?
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me. Like it talks about like I just drew a blank.
That's
like
all
just
right.
black magic and you know
Yeah.
witchcraft and things like that. Basically
Yes.
teleportation, you know,
Sorcerers,
and,
yeah.
sorcerers and
Yeah.
like shape shifting things like that. Like
Mhm.
it's just all this stuff that people are like. There was a time where I was in my group of friends, like where I'm from in Winter Haven, would talk. Bleep that out.
Sadie Robinson.
Sadie Robinson. And
We need to start self-editing.
yeah, you're right. But there's a time where
Sadie
was a
Robinson.
time where Sadie Robinson.
Back when I used to hang out with Sadie Robinson.
Sadie Robinson. But like you would question it, and then everybody, like you said, everybody else would be like, "Well, that's not that important." I'm like, "That's kind of important." Like
It's
I
a
feel
big
like
deal.
that's a very big deal to just push under the carpet. You
Yeah.
know? And I remember my dad's pretty into this kind of stuff, but he doesn't really conversate about it. You know, he's more of like, well, I'll just find out my own way. You know.
Mm.
But I brought up to him how when Moses went to the Pharaoh and performed miracles in the name of Jesus or God, and their sorcerers could pretty much match it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like authentic because it wasn't the power of God, So it was like, but how did they match that?
Well, you know what's interesting?
It was
With-
authentic.
I was gonna say was
It
I was going to bring that up.
yeah.
It's like we actually don't have that language. That's something that we add to it because today we don't like magic. We're like, it's fake. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's, anything revolved around sorcery is just like, haha, fun, whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy.
Harry Potter.
But it's like, yeah, when you look through the plagues, it's like, no, the sorcerers did match what he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they're
And-
just as strong or more powerful than God because something interesting happens, which is after, I think it's the third or fourth plague, they're no longer able to mimic what's happening.
Exactly that.
But I think the part that we don't like, that's uncomfortable, which is what you're saying, is up to that point, no, the sorcerers were using their magic, and they were doing the same thing.
And I believe it even, I might be wrong, but doesn't it state somewhere that they use black magic?
There's language about that, especially when it comes to like Babylon and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and like with the Egyptians, there's kind of language to assume that even the plagues that God chooses early on and the things that he early on says like do this specific thing is in relationship to an entity, a god of the air, that they already worship. So like those sorcerers are going to other lowercase g gods that are performing these acts, that they have specific functionalities that God knows that they can duplicate.
Governing things, like you were talking about at certain
Yeah.
zones, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also like how there are gods over certain
principalities.
things.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's almost like God was allowing them to match him up to a point, knowing that they could duplicate what he was doing because he's mimicking them at first, and then he switches over to himself.
Yeah.
And the things that only he can do.
Even with the plague leading up to when the sorcerers lose their power, seemingly, that was a judgment. Each plague was a judgment. One upon Egypt, and two against the gods, the princes and principalities of that area. So yeah, what he does is he casts a judgment on the god who, to them, is their fertility god and the god of sorcery. And so when he says, okay, now it's your turn, well, now all these human magicians have no power because the entity they went to has been judged.
Yeah. And he's
without power
like
now.
dethroned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of funny. It's like it's God kind of letting it happen for a bit.
Yeah, he's like flexing.
yeah, go ahead. Check this out.
Yeah.
You're gone now.
Yeah, in some ways
So you
it's
think
not
you can.
it's in some ways it's not them saying we can do that too. It's him saying I can do what you're doing and more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a different reading of it a little bit. It's like so
It's a perspective, like shift.
And I think that's an interesting thing. Even when we look back to creation, it's like there are so many bits, and I think it's easy because of just the relation of when things were written for people to look at the Genesis account and say, oh, that's just copying everybody else because of these elements. But I think it's fascinating that every civilization has their own creation story, and each from a different point. Where it's like, I think it was the Egyptian god was the only creation account where he spoke everything into existence. We have the Mesopotamian one. That's where we get like the Marduk and Tiamat, and that's how the waters were created in the sky. We're slaying the head of the sea monster and then spreading its head and its body to create the sky and the water. And then we see that language inside Genesis where it says God separated the waters from the waters.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, it's actually referring back to that language. But it's not saying like, oh, yeah, I like that, I'm going to take this. Or God spoke everything into existence because I like the Egyptians, so I'm going to take that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's make this super, the superhuman. But it's like, no, what he's saying is like, you all have a piece of what happened because why wouldn't you? You're hearing the stories from people that heard the stories.
Yeah.
But this is what really happened, and it's Yahweh who did this, and he did all of that because he's greater than any
This is
god who's
Yahweh,
claiming to be Yahweh.
Yeah.
We should Sadie Robinson because I have to go pick up Sadie Robinson.
Oh no. Whoa, yeah, you do. We're way past your time.
Oh,
Yeah, my time adjusted,
Oh, that's good.
but there's another Sadie Robinson I have to pick up.
That's fair.
that is fair.
Hey guys, thanks for being on here.
Yeah,
I feel like we like just
got into it.
got into it.
Yeah.
But you know what that means? It means we have to do it again.
That means you have to do it again.
Because this is what happens to Steven and I. We'll start it and realize we haven't talked in a while.
But on our Martyrs Row, our new podcast, we actually hone those in.
We do.
So we stay really close to one topic and just
Yeah.
spend time on just that. So
Yeah. And this is a more casual, let's have fun. It's tipsy theology.
Yeah.
When we're not tipsy, our conversations have to be. So
They were pretty ever. Magic Mind.
I like that. Tipsy theology, where either we are tipsy or our conversations are.
that's right. That's the tagline. But thank you both for being on here.
Yeah, thanks
And,
for having me.
We need to do one again where Dustin's the only one that asks questions.
Oh, that would be good.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Dustin becomes the host.
I like
need
it.
To, I need to do my research then, so I don't like just ask.
No, that's the
boring
whole point.
You can ask boring questions too. We'll make them interesting.
You won't realize how interesting your questions are
That's
until
true.
you ask Paul and I.
You'll ask something, you'll be like, that seems pretty mundane. I'll be like, well,
questions. Well, actually,
Have you considered Leviathan?
think about this.
dude, I'm scared of the ocean because of Leviathan.
You should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why like going to the ocean is I feel like everybody should do that because it reminds you how small you are and how not in control you are.
Dude, so much.
Just the vastness.
What is it, like
Yeah.
7%? Only 7% of the ocean has been explored or something like that?
A very small amount.
I
Yeah.
don't know. With LiDAR and everything, man, the government has looked at a lot more stuff than we realize.
That's
Sure.
true. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening, for watching, and for buying Magic Mind.
Yeah.
And thank you,
You'll love
Sadie
it.
Robinson, for being part of our lives.
Especially Dustin's.
Especially mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it could have
And,
just been some random guy in Kingsville, Ohio, you know?
It probably was in the back of his Ashtabula. Listening to Muse.
Mountain Walmart.
Drinking some Mountain Walmart.
Anyway, I will talk to you hopefully sooner rather than later.